Tell us what you think of our theme music. Someone wrote it for us.
Very percussive.
Welcome to Two Tired Twats Comedy Podcast. My name is Patty Rosborough, and I'm here with the very beautiful Carrie Carabas.
Hello, Patty.
Hello,
I don't think I could do the intro as good as you.
You don't think?
You're like, oh,
Go ahead and try. You know who I stole it from?
welcome to Two Tired Twats.
You know who I stole that delivery from? Mike and the Mad Dog. Have you ever listened to Mike and the Mad Dog? He goes, da 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 da, and I thought, wow, that makes it sound like it's almost important. So I thought I'd kind of,
so
stole
we're
his
almost
delivery.
important. We're not even important.
Mike and the Mad
I
Dog.
mean, you
Sports.
should have heard his voice. It didn't sound
Nothing like
important. His voice screamed not important.
I love Mike and the Mad Dog, but anyway.
Introduce our guest.
Yeah.
Our guest is, now I may be pronouncing his name wrong because that's something
You
I should
are.
have asked him.
You should have.
Wait a minute,
I
let-
guarantee you'll pronounce it wrong.
Okay, Jason Salmon.
No,
Wrong.
it's Solomon.
Close. Salmon. He got it right.
Salmon,
right?
He knows because I've
Well,
been
'cause,
on,
yeah.
because we've
We've
worked
worked
together.
together.
Yeah.
Soul Man, like Soul Man.
Like Saul, like Better Call Saul.
Saul.
Man.
Well, there should be a
What is
U.
that?
No,
What
no.
nationality is that?
Proper names, not subject to phonetics.
Seriously.
Yeah, no.
So,
Mike Krzyzewski,
what's-
Exhibit A.
though. Who's Mike Krzyzewski?
Yeah, he spelled. Let me just. You want to guess what his name starts with? What his last
A-Z.
name? No,
wait, say it again.
Mike Krzyzewski.
C.
Sashef S.
K.
Ooh.
Oh,
Whoa.
K
Polish.
silent.
Is he
Polish.
Polish?
K is silent.
K.
KS.
Well, K is either silent or makes a different sound.
No.
There we go.
Solman.
Kaski.
Jason Solman. Yes, and what nationality would a Solman be?
Texan.
Texan.
Yeah.
Where were your parents from, though?
Patty's
Texas.
turned on by Texans.
6th generation Texan.
But are you English? Are you Irish? Are you, what are you?
I
You
am.
look Irish.
Ultimately, I'm Dutch, Irish, and German.
That's what you look.
But like hardcore Texan.
I'm a little Dutch also.
We actually were in
You have a gun?
Texas when
You
it
have a
was a
gun?
country, though. So technically, that's my nationality.
Okay,
I
got
don't
it.
think Texas was ever a country.
It was a country. Yeah.
When was this?
Well, I don't know what year. I'm not. What do I look like? I read. No, I just hear
I
stories
never
from
heard
my
that
ancestors.
Texas was a country.
Yeah, the Republic of Texas. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was that for a long period of time?
That was a long time ago.
Stretch of time,
it was
yeah.
before.
It was bought with parts of Mexico by the U.S.
Interesting.
Okay, but
Yes.
Go ahead,
but
Carrie.
Yes.
you were born when it was part of the U.S.
I was.
U.S.
Now, you are from Texas, and
I
yet,
am.
now I have seen some comics who do wear the cowboy hats who are
Yes.
from, you're not a cowboy hat person?
I have terrific hair.
You do have,
I wouldn't hide this hair from the world. What am I? This is a
are
gift
they
I'm
plugs?
giving.
Are they plugs,
No.
or they're your real hair?
They're a plug for my personality, is what they are.
See,
They
I
are,
have terrific pubic hair, but I kind of hide it from the public.
which is fair. Which is fair. If I had a designation for my hair other than just hair, I would probably hide it from the public. Armpit hair, terrific. Hide it from
Really?
the public.
I used to have good, but now that I'm older,
Yeah.
mine has thinned out to almost nothing. I almost never shave.
Which is technically the best armpit hair.
Yeah, I
from
love
what
it.
I hear.
Soft and
Yeah.
almost non-existent. So, but wait a minute. If you're from
Okay.
Texas,
Yes.
didn't you, like when you hung out with your friends and you go to a bar, are you wearing a cowboy hat? That's what I want to.
No, that's not.
Do you know how to
That's
do
not
the-
what Texas is like.
Do you know
I
how to
mean,
line
some
dance?
places it is.
Do you know how to line dance?
I mean, I'm not a barbarian. Of course, I know how to line
Oh,
dance.
thank God! You're ruining the fantasy for me and Patty.
Line dancing was in the fantasy.
Yes,
you
you know,
guys
line
really need to
dancing.
up your fantasy game.
Cowboy
The
boots.
cowboy
I
boots,
mean-
cowboy
And a pair
hat,
of
and the
shorts.
line dance.
Pair of
That's it?
And the
shorts.
tight
A
jeans.
pair of shorts.
A pair of Daisy Dukes with a cowboy hat.
I don't.
No.
Getting all
Wow.
cocky.
This
See,
is-
she likes gay guys.
I
She's always been
mean-
attracted to gay guys.
I do like
I
gay
like
men.
a nice pair of jeans,
I feel
tight
like-
around the ass, and then the cowboy boots, and then the thing, maybe
hat.
something in your mouth. And
What do you mean something in his
like a
mouth?
straw or something. No, like
Hey.
a toothpick.
I feel like all of your fantasies are based on accidentally
Stereotypes.
seeing a Texas-based porn. Slurping
Yes.
cowboy. I don't know.
Ah.
Yes.
But what's his name? There's one guy who wears the hat, and then the other guy, Carrington, is from Texas. You know?
Carrington?
Yeah. What's his first name?
He sounds like a
Rodney.
character from Dallas.
Rodney Carrington, isn't that
Probably. That sounds right.
Do you know him or
I
no?
don't.
But he's a don't all Texans know other Texans?
Yes, we do.
Okay, but
All of us.
You don't know him, and he wears a cowboy hat on stage, and he's a comic. He's very
Dustin
might not-
Chafin. Is that who
Oh.
you're talking about? He's
No.
from Texas.
I know, but,
and he wears a cowboy hat.
no, but
Okay.
he wasn't that nice. He has anger issues.
He wasn't nice to you, but a lot
He's
of, lot
we
of
already
comics
said
are
he was a
not
comedian.
nice to
Of
you.
course he has anger issues
Well,
or parent issues.
But most people have anger issues, and they what do you call it when you submerge them? Submerge them under, and
Push
you have
them
you
down,
push them
you-
down, and then you have your personality that comes out like the
Yeah,
happy, jokey
yeah.
person, and then the
So he's
angry
honest,
one-
is what you what you
I
hate
don't know if
about him.
it's honest,
What did he do to you?
scary.
What did he
I
do?
don't
That's
I
wanna
want to
alright.
hear it.
There's
I don't
tons
want to
of
say. He
things.
just got mad at me because I asked him if I could work his room, and he went crazy. He went crazy, and he walked out. He was like, because he didn't want me to ask him because he doesn't want to be a. He said, "I don't want you to think of me as a booker. I'm a comic."
Oh.
Also, she was in the men's
Touchy.
restroom, so he was
I
a
would-
little ticked.
I was in a comedy club. Don't you think you're allowed to ask a booker in a comedy club?
If I knew what to ask when I was in a comedy club, I would have been so much further along in my career right now.
do you work for Dustin?
Sometimes.
And
yeah.
how did you ask
How
him?
did you
How
ask
did you
him?
ask him?
How
How's that? How
What's
did you
the proper
ask him?
etiquette to
Yeah,
ask
he
Dustin
said I should have
Chafin?
emailed him.
Here's what you do. You
What?
watch a football game, and it's all metaphors.
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
You're like, your coach is a pretty good coach. You
Do
know?
you have open Sunday spot?
No.
No,
know you're not. See, you got to stick with the metaphor. You got to parallel it.
How
How?
gotta
does
just-
that mean? So how did you
have,
get it?
That's how men communicate. We talk about football, and we're really talking about the depth of humanity and life and love and
And how did you get
connection.
your first spot? Did you email or you talked to him and he gave it to you? Be honest.
He gave it to me. I don't honestly know. He was one of the first people to give me spots in that.
Maybe he
city.
just didn't like you.
He
Patty.
didn't email it to you. You didn't email to him. That is what he told me. The only way you can work for him is if you email. He lied to me.
I don't know that I
Did
didn't
you email
him.
him?
Tell you for
I
certain
didn't know
that
I was
didn't
supposed to
him.
email him until he got mad and walked out of the room. But anyway,
We should have emailed him after. You should just email him every day, twice, 3 times a day.
I was pretty sure if
till
I
he
had,
finally blocks you.
I was about to say, block is quicker than book if
I-
it's every day,
I
3
was
times
pretty
a day.
sure after our
Now become a stalker.
I was pretty sure he wasn't going to book me after that.
That's
so
fair.
I can't take rejection. Once
Okay.
I kind of get a vibe, then I know when to move on.
I mean, the point,
See, I don't.
The point is, we all wear cowboy hats in
You do.
bars.
okay. You
Yes.
have in your
Yes.
past worn a cowboy hat?
I'm wearing one now. It's just tiny.
It's a little one.
It's
It's stuck in your hair. Would you wear, if you were to wear a cowboy hat in Carrie and My Fantasy, would it be a white cowboy hat or a black cowboy?
always.
He
Actually,
is a little sexy,
actually,
though,
I
right?
do.
Yeah, he is.
You're starting to grow on me now.
Yeah, that's what I am.
I
I'm like
tell
I'm
Carrie,
like a
go-
fungi.
I go, Carrie, he's
Right?
kind of cute.
Fun
She
guy?
goes, are you
Is that
sure?
what it
I
is?
go, he's cute. Trust me, he's cute. So see,
I
you're
do
pr-
cowboy videos
What does that
explaining
even mean?
holidays. I explain holidays as a cowboy on YouTube. I have a whole
What's the channel?
It's Jason Salmon. It's my
No
name.
Jason Solomon comedy or?
Yes,
no, it's
it
just
is.
Jason Salmon.
Okay, so
Oh.
look
Jay-
him up.
Jay Salmon
Salmon
comedy,
Comedy.
is my handle
Oh,
on.
it's Jay Solomon.
That is Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, but
Jay
No,
Salmon
now
comedy.
but on
this is-
YouTube.
YouTube, it's just Jason Salmon.
Okay.
Okay, this was very confusing because when I looked you up, it
Yes.
gave me a different thing than what it actually was. Because then when I went to
What?
Twitter,
I
it,
don't know
it
what that
had
means.
Jason T. Salmon. Were you ever Jason
I
T.
was
Salmon?
originally on
See?
Twitter, but
And
I
that's what I was-
changed it so my Instagram and Twitter was the same handle or same.
I
Interesting.
hate comedians who constantly change their fucking name.
I don't. I've only changed it once.
Okay, that's
But I
enough for
changed
her
it to
hate
make it
you.
easier.
Oh, well, it made it
Oh,
worse
believe
for
me.
me. It made it harder
We're
for
both
me.
comics. That's enough for us to hate each other. We don't need more than that.
Carrie and I love each other, and
We
both
love
comics.
each other.
Which means you're this close to hating each other.
Yeah.
It's a circular thing.
She almost hated me yesterday when I fucked up with the banking, but other than that, mostly we love each other. What was I going to say?
Why does it look blurry?
What do you mean? Are you asking Adam?
Yes, Adam, it's not focusing.
Trust me, it's focused.
All right, fine.
Adam doesn't like when you critique him on air, Carrie.
on his equipment, on his
Adam's
Mevo.
using
No, I don't
He's-
like when you ask me the same question that I've answered 100 times. Anytime it's blurry, it's because the internet is hiccuping. And,
Hiccuping.
it's going slow because
You
that
know what I
happens.
noticed
from
about
time to
Adam
time.
today? Adam is starting to stand his ground.
He's
I
a
like
little
it.
short with us
No,
today.
no.
Yeah.
Listen, here's
no,
the
he's,
thing.
he's had enough.
I think we talked about. I think we talked about this last week. I was like,
He's
you
fucking had
literally
enough.
asked me the same questions for
Can
2
I-
years. Yeah, you can ask me whatever
Can
you
I
want.
ask a
because-
question?
Go ahead.
Sure.
I want to ask a question.
Uh-huh.
Did you build this microphone specifically to respond to them on their podcast?
Yeah, almost.
Okay,
No,
all right.
I'm kidding. No,
Yeah.
no, this
We-
is for whoever. No. But
We always ask him his opinion when we're saying a lot of
Yeah,
girly
yeah.
shit all in a row. Then we'll go, Adam, what do you think?
yeah.
Okay,
if there's not
all right,
like-
fair
if
enough.
There's not like a rugged cowboy in here to answer questions. You know?
Why are you?
Adam, could you ever
20?
be a cowboy?
Could I what?
You know, could you ever be a cowboy? Because if you wear a hat, it automatically you become like
Sure.
5 inches taller.
Okay,
I
that's
could
very
be.
cruel.
Yeah.
You know who was a
That's
short cowboy
It's a
country
solid
singer?
hat.
Clint
George Strait.
Black. Is he short?
Yeah,
Don't tell me that.
both
I'm going
of
to be
them are.
upset.
What's his name?
Clint Black
George
is like
Strait,
3
Clint
feet
Black.
5 inches tall. He's a midget, and I just saw him on the Country Music Awards, and he's still wearing the cowboy hat. Now, what is okay? Sorry to talk about the Country Music Awards. Carrie hates award shows, but
Yeah.
why on the Country Music Awards does no one wear the fucking cowboy hats anymore? Only the old school guys.
It's a little more. They're a little more polished now. They don't look like the old country
I
guys. Like they
like
used
the-
to just be cowboys who figured out that they could play the
That's
guitar.
what I like. That's the
Well,
country.
Patty,
music.
you're
Now the-
old.
I
Now
am.
now they're legitimate musicians. you
I
know?
think they're shittier now. I am telling you right now, because you're country, so I should.
That's fair.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. Are you putting those up against a fucking
Anybody,
Who's
no
the
one
one
today.
who's married to Nicole Kidman? That guy who won
Keith
Entertainer.
Urban.
He
Nah.
won Entertainer.
His
of the Year.
name is not even Country for the Love of Pete.
Exactly.
Keith Rural.
He wears fucking eyeliner under his eyes.
He's had Botox
he's
put
had
in his face.
everything done.
You know
He's not a
who's the
cowboy.
one
He,
on?
he had Botox put in his face only so he could
Oh.
look into her eyes and not feel weird.
Exactly. They both look
She
weird.
had
He is
Botox put
scary.
into her face before she did a film where she played a Southern woman, a poor Southern woman. Oh, it was awful.
Horrible.
I was like, how
is
am I
that-
supposed to believe this?
You
Did you-
can't.
did
she
you
looks
see-
like a freaking. She looks like what's that movie she was in, the Silicon Valley? Now she looks like a robot.
Oh yeah, the Stepford Wives.
Yes,
that one?
everywhere. But
Go ahead.
I want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
Who's the guy? Who's the Southern guy? Not the Southern guy. I think he's from Texas on American Idol right now.
Oh, I don't know.
He doesn't watch those kind of
I
shows.
don't
He's
watch
got
it.
so much filler and Botox in his
Really?
face where it's like,
There's a lot of
Dude.
polish. There's
Dude,
a lot
what
of
are you
polish
doing?
going on.
I don't like
It's
it
so
on
ugly.
a man. And a man, please just have wrinkles and just have a
be a man.
real. Yeah, don't be being a girl if you're a man. I don't understand it. I don't like it.
It's a lot of vanity.
Look at us. We have no Botox.
what?
But what's her name?
None.
Who's the
we can't
blonde-
afford it.
Keith Urban's wife. I went to see that movie Australia or whatever it was with that who's that sexy guy with her in Australia? Did you see Australia? Or
Australia.
Nah, I wouldn't waste a
It was-
dollar.
It was you don't know.
A
why
part
you-
of me thinks you're telling me the wrong movie title.
It might be.
my God.
Anything could come out of Patty's mouth.
No. So it's with who's the guy who was in the circus movie? You
The
have to-
circ-
Barnum and Bailey.
yeah, the Barnum and
You're
Bailey.
amazing
Here's
at
the thing that you have to
describing movies.
understand.
You know what? Here's
Oh
the
my
thing.
God.
If we have
I
tapioca
can't
pudding
believe
at
this
this podcast at any point, this will be the perfect, the perfect.
I can't think of names, and usually Carrie will tell me what the person's name is.
The circus.
He's the gay guy.
Oh, Hugh
He's
Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
The,
Okay. So
the
Hugh
showman.
Jackman, who is sexy and handsome and semi-young looking, he plays opposite Nicole Kidman in this movie, and we're supposed to believe that he's hot for her, and he bends her over and makes crazy sex love to her, and her face was like, ooh, and her lips were like, ooh, and her eyes were like, ooh. I mean, and it was on
Well,
the
she
big
can still
screen.
have a sexy body. I mean, what I think it was Gary Goldman who said, "There's just no yoga pose for the face." Right? That's one of the great lines of stand-up.
But you know, actually, I have heard there are stretches you can do for your face.
Oh, yeah.
To tighten a little.
Little
I'm
bit.
Yeah,
afraid
that's
we
bullshit.
Don't know
That's
them.
like the stretch, the things for your crotch.
You're
too.
just trying to keep as much
Yeah.
moisture in your body as possible. That's the main thing.
Really?
Basically.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's
It
what
is.
people
Drink
do.
water.
That's why people put all that stuff to hold the water in all over their
Yeah,
face
yeah.
to hold the water in, and you just drink a ton of water.
How old are you? How old are you? You a young man? Or
38,
38.
He's so cute.
Wait,
now.
that's
now I really
same
like
age
him.
as you.
same age. There we
He
go.
is
You
cute. I
guys-
told you.
Yeah, you guys could go out tonight and hook it up. Some-
You
get
have a
some
great. He has a
chicks.
girlfriend though,
I
Adam.
do.
And Adam has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You have
Did
a
you-
girlfriend?
I thought that's what you
I'm very
meant.
upset
Double
now.
date. That's
No, Carrie was
that's what the
making
kids
that.
called
Did she-
hooking up.
Was making a homosexual joke
Do
at both
cheat?
your expenses.
I don't have the time.
Doesn't have the time.
I do comedy and I have a girlfriend. Where would I find time?
What does she look like?
Pretty.
She's got a wide back, and she's got a face that seems to say, "What the hell's going on over there?"
Wait, a wide back meaning ass? Or
No, a wide back.
Okay.
You like
Yeah.
a wide back?
I didn't know I did,
Is she
but
like
I
a
do.
linebacker
Yeah.
wide back?
Nah, she's more of a bricklayer wide back.
Okay, just so you know that wide back,
Yeah,
will end up getting wider.
yeah, sure.
Can
Because I had a wide back,
Yeah,
and I got wider.
okay.
I'm
I'm not against it.
You
know
like
who-
you like
I'm
big
all,
girls?
I'm all for erosion. I'm all for all of the forces of nature acting on a human.
After you have
Here's
the
the
baby.
thing. Here's the thing. I've been with
Go
her
ahead.
so much that I don't even see her when I look at her.
What does that even
I
mean?
see everything that has happened since I knew her.
What's happening?
That's what I see. Everything.
Well, you love her.
Yeah.
How many
it's like,
years?
It's like she changes her hair. I'm like, look, I don't love it, maybe, but it's just you.
Do you tell her you don't like it?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Does she get upset?
No.
She doesn't give a
She
fuck.
knows I won't like it. She's like, I like it.
She
so
cut
who
it
cares?
short. She cut it short.
She cut it short.
No,
but
guys,
she's going to grow it out a little bit.
How short is it
Just
now?
enough.
After she picks up her girlfriend. Patty knows all about that.
I don't know that much about it. Maybe once.
I can't take the popcorn smell.
It is really overwhelming. Men don't like a short hair on a woman, I don't believe.
It's not my favorite, but mainly because her hair is curly and I like it to be wild. And the shorter it gets, the
then
less
it's
wild
just like
it is.
It's like you have I
Yeah.
used to have curly hair.
But
back
I
in the
get
day.
that she doesn't want. I get that it's crazy curly and hard to maintain. So
Why
get
is it crazy?
Can
But if
I
it's
see-
curly,
I'd
you
rather
just
her.
like
I'd rather her be happy and me live with a happy woman than her have longer hair and me live with an angry, crazy-haired woman.
But do you feel honestly like maybe you're with a lesbian a little bit?
That's
Why,
my
is that a
favorite
bad
type of woman.
question?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I always prefer a woman who's got enough taste to like women better than men. Are you kidding me?
Good
That
answer.
is that is a
That's a
that
good
is-
answer.
That's good.
Yeah.
He's
He's
good.
He's right.
He needs to write a book.
Your voice sounds a little like Joe Matarese.
No.
Okay.
Have you been?
I know Joe.
I think he's got a deeper voice than Joe Matarese, more manly.
It kind of sounds a little like.
Oh, okay, maybe.
A
Okay.
little like him.
I'll take it.
I like Joe.
I like Joe.
Yeah.
Only Joe doesn't like Joe.
Exactly. He's
Yeah.
trying to fix Joe all the
Yeah.
That's
time.
really funny.
He's fixing Joe.
Everybody else loves Joe.
His wife likes him to be
No,
medicated.
I don't
though.
know. I don't know
Yeah.
if his wife
I don't know
likes
if his
Joe.
wife
His,
likes Joe.
his wife is probably number 2 on the list of people who don't like
Right,
Joe.
yes.
He is a solid number 1.
Right.
Yes.
Right. She's number 2. She's like,
Unchallenged.
I'm done with listening to
She's-
how much you hate yourself.
She's like, I'm starting to see some of your points.
Now, I have another question about Texas.
Yes.
Now,
I know everything.
what about guns? Do
Yeah,
y'all
but
have
then-
guns
They
in
live in
Texas?
Texas also.
Do you-
Don't.
You
No.
don't
want
do a
one.
gun.
My dad did.
Your dad had guns.
Yeah, I've only shot guns at ranges and in military things.
So never at people.
You
Never
were in the
at
military?
people. No, but I do shows for military, like abroad and stuff. So
And they let you shoot?
always take you to the gun range.
Oh my God, that would
Yeah.
be fun to shoot.
I'm good at it. Turns out.
You are?
Yeah, yeah, I'm really good
Runs
at it.
in the family.
What do you mean? You can hit a
Yeah, I have
a
my
mark?
accuracy. I'm always like in one of the top people who are at the, doing when we do the gun ranges and
Yeah.
they show us the stuff afterwards. I'm always like one of the top
And
people.
what are you shooting at? Like a silhouette of a
You
person?
either shoot at, they either do the old school, where you have like you put the target thing and you like do that thing overhead and it
No, what
takes
is
it
it?
up,
Thing over
Spit,
your
it
head.
shoots it down,
takes
and
it
then
all
you
the
got
way
to shoot
down
it.
and you shoot at
And
a
then
distance.
you pull it forward and
like
you
you
see
see
where
in
you
all the
hit it.
cop shows,
What are you talking about? You
At
take
the
it-
shooting range, you shoot the fake guy.
Yeah, it's like a clothesline that you
Oh,
sort of
that
go.
thing. Yeah. Oh, that
so
would be fun.
there's either that, but like we did one in Kosovo this year where they had like an electronic gun range,
And what does that even mean?
and it was crazy. We did a mock.
So it wasn't bullets.
No bullets.
So it was like a laser
But
like
it's
fake
not even a
guns.
laser. Like you couldn't see what was happening, but it was calibrated
where you
to
hit it.
your gun so that it shot as if you were shooting a real gun. So it
It knew
picked
where
up
you
where
were
you were
shooting.
shooting.
Right,
It
so
showed
it's
you when
kind
you
of
were
like a
off.
laser in the gun that you don't
Right,
see.
yeah, it's a undetectable laser. But
Kinda like
but we
the-
even did in that one. We did a live shooter drill for a school at one point.
What does
and
that mean?
That
Oh!
means literally you have a handgun
And you got to run and get
you
the
are
shooter.
in the school
You
and
gotta
and they put you through this scenario where like kids run out in the hall and you
Oh.
have to like make sure that you
You're
don't
not killing the wrong
kill
kid.
somebody wrong. Yeah,
How'd you do?
He
I
killed
did really
4
well.
kids.
Oh, you know what I did?
And they were all in wheelchairs.
I took over for somebody because the person who was going to do the drill turns out she had been in a school
Oh,
shooting.
so she couldn't do
So
it.
she's like I can't do
Freaked
this. I
out.
can't do this. So I go, all right, I'll do it. And I do it And I'm ready, and I go, and the guy is like holding somebody hostage at the end, and I'm about to shoot, and I shoot, and the gun's not working. She didn't load the gun properly.
So you
Oh,
got
did you
killed.
get
So the
shot?
gun didn't shoot. No, I didn't get killed, but the teacher got killed. The teacher that he was holding hostage, he shot her in
You
the head.
idiot.
Oh,
You
my
had
God.
Someone got killed because of you.
Yeah, because somebody misloaded my gun.
Wow.
See, that's what
how
you gotta
learn your lesson.
know about your guns. Know
Yeah.
about your guns.
Were
You
you,
do. You
afraid
need
to
to know about your
go
guns.
wherever you went when you performed for the G? You're not afraid you could get killed?
We went to Afghanistan the first year that I ever
Who's
did
we?
it.
You and who?
I went with. You
went with Norton?
No, I went with.
Because Norton was there.
I went with Slade Ham, some guys out of
Slade
Houston
Ham?
and North Carolina and San Francisco, like a bunch of comics from all over.
All right.
And we went to Afghanistan, and that one I did fill out my last will and testament.
Oh,
and
see,
everything
that
before
didn't
I
make you
went.
nervous?
It made me a little nervous, but I was like, I should just do this because I don't know.
Were your parents like, don't go? Or do you have
No.
parents?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
You
they
didn't tell
were
them?
like.
That you were going?
I told them I was going. I didn't tell my girlfriend that I filled out my last will and testament
Yeah,
because I
she
didn't
wouldn't
think
like
she
that,
needed to have
yeah.
that on her
What'd
mind.
you leave her? Like your fucking.
I left her everything.
Oh, you
Everything I
did?
got. Yeah.
Really?
Which is
That was nice.
Yeah.
Are you going to marry her? What's the
Which
deal?
is like a
Nah.
bottle of Xanax and
Yeah.
like his video games and.
in
Wait.
my cowboy
tar-
hat? She gets my
yeah.
cowboy
Cowboy
hat.
hat. Now, wait, why don't you don't want to get married and she doesn't want to get married?
Who knows?
You're
we
not
might.
married
We might
people?
at point. But she
Well,
doesn't.
it's the ball's in your court.
She doesn't want to have kids, so it
Oh,
doesn't.
she
It doesn't.
doesn't?
It's not
Do
really
you?
a time thing.
Do
Yeah,
you?
do you?
I don't know. We might get a rescue at some point. I don't know. I'm not 100%. I think I would make a good dad.
I think
but
you would too.
I think you would like kids.
Who doesn't want kids? I love
yeah,
kids.
but with a face like this, I can't tell people that.
That's true.
What does that even mean?
You got to know how society works. That means I can't wear a sweater vest and walk past the playground on the
And
same
say,
day.
Oh, you mean you
he's
look
a
like
yeah,
a perv.
yeah,
molester.
exactly.
Is it because of the
I have the
mustache?
face. Yeah, it is.
You know, I will tell you, there is a picture of you. I think your face looks you have a kind face. But there is a picture of you where you're very scary, where your head was shaved.
Oh yeah, the head shave.
You with the
thing,
shaved head, you're very fucking scary.
I took those pictures specifically because I'm like, I want a crazy picture,
That's
I want a
crazy.
scary picture,
Fucking
and
horrible.
I want to.
But
I'm
I
like,
think,
is this the
I
same
think if
guy?
he was in movies, he would be like.
the scary guy.
No,
I
not the
play
scary guy.
everything.
I think in the movies he would be considered a sexy heartthrob guy.
You
I
I
mean,
don't
they would
think so.
fix his
Nah,
hair.
I would be the
No, they would fix
maybe
your hair.
sexy but not heartthrob.
I
I might be the like second guy. I'm the guy who people would be like, how did he get that woman or something
No,
like
you
that.
got to get
That's
rid
the
of the
closest I
mustache.
can get. Yeah,
Have you ever gotten rid of the mustache?
I have. Yeah.
I actually made he's now my husband, but my fiance at the time, get rid of his mustache. But he was older. Like,
Yeah.
a guy in your 50s with that mustache, it's like the 70s mustache.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
A guy saw me today with it and said, "That's a very '60s mustache." It was a random dude that I had
Really?
never seen before.
it is. It's very,
I was
but
like,
see,
here you
when
go.
you're younger, I think you can pose more than an older guy with the 70s mustache.
Yeah, it's
Because
not
it
for
looks like
everybody.
you still had it from the 70s. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like you kept it as you thought it was a good choice.
Right.
Yeah.
It gets me a lot of work.
It
What
does.
kind of work? So you did Orange is
Acting.
the New Black,
I did
right?
Orange is the New Black.
Once, or you were
once. I
okay.
was on it for an episode.
Was
and
that
that's
the
when I
shaved
had
head?
the shaved head. Yeah,
Okay.
because I played a prisoner.
And what'd you do?
You have
No.
tattoos?
I did for the show.
Oh,
They
what
put
they
them
put
on
on
you?
They
you?
put them on me. They put them on. They were great. The makeup people, they gave you a whole backstory. Like they reddened my knuckles where they were raw from punching people.
Really?
They did all sorts of just tiny little things. They were having a blast with it.
And what were the
What were the
tattoos
tats?
of?
They
Yeah.
were one was like a snake on my forearm and something else.
That's
I
cool.
forget what it all was.
Are they lick-ons?
Yes, they lick them on. Yeah, yeah. At first I was like, is
is
this
this
standard?
sanitary?
Is this standard? Is this? I didn't sign anything for this, but yeah,
And
they
then
licked
they-
them right
And then,
on.
so you
Lick
did
'em
Orange
off.
is the New Black, and then what else have you done?
I did 30 Rock before that.
Speaking roles?
Speaking roles. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What'd you do on 30 Rock? Who were you on
30 Rock, I played a Santa Claus in a department store
That's
in the
disgruntled.
70s.
Oh, in the 70s.
And that's why the
In
mustache
fact,
came in.
In fact, I got a voicemail saying to me, You got the role, blah, blah, blah. Here's a few information. Tina
shave.
says don't shave the
Right,
mustache.
don't shave the mustache.
Really?
So I had a literal voicemail for a stretch of time before I realized that when you change phones, you lose all your voicemails.
Oh, that's too bad.
I know. I never.
You got to record them onto another
I know it.
device.
That's what I do now is I forward them to my email.
So
But
you were a Santa Claus with a brown mustache, or you mean then they took your mustache?
no, I was a Santa Claus, and when I like pulled off all my stuff and I had the mustache underneath.
And were you a bad Santa Claus?
I was just angry. I was disgruntled. I was a
were
disgruntled
disgruntled?
department store Santa Claus.
Are you a disgruntled person?
Nah, I'm gruntled.
You're gruntled?
I'm very gruntled.
Happy childhood? You always-
Happy childhood, great childhood.
Come on.
Yeah.
See, Patty, not everyone has a miserable childhood. You
fucking
got to
had a-
stop that
I
nonsense.
had a terrific
I
childhood.
don't believe it.
You don't have
Nobody
to.
raped you.
That's fair. Not a person. Mm-mm.
All right, I'm just because Patty thinks
I
everyone
think
has to be-
everyone's been sexually abused or something's happened to
Nah,
them. And
I was sexually ignorant.
what does that mean?
That was
never
that
didn't
was
know.
the
We
one.
didn't
That
know
was the
anything
one
about
that I
sex.
just thought. Oh, the first girl who ever like was remotely sexual with me. I'm like, does this happen?
And did it?
Women like this because I just grew up. I was very innocent. I grew up religious.
great.
And I
Catholic?
always,
Catholic?
No.
What kind of religion?
Oh, please.
Lutheran.
Far more liberal. You got
Lutheran.
Catholic was far more
Episcopalian.
liberal. For us. No.
born again.
Baptist.
Oh.
Have you heard of Southern Baptist?
No, I don't really know what a Southern Baptist
Southern
is.
Baptist, also liberal as far as we were concerned. We were like really conservative.
Like in what way? You weren't allowed
Everything.
to
You're
bang?
not allowed to fuck. You're not allowed
Like
to do
just-
anything.
yeah,
you can't
there
take
were-
the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah.
You have to
You
really.
can't take the Lord's name in vain?
No, you can't.
So do you curse in your act?
No. Mm-mm.
No?
No.
That's good. You'll work more.
Yeah, you
I
will.
know it will it does get me more work.
But do you do it off stage? Do you
Sometimes,
cur-
yeah,
you
it depends.
curse?
I
Do your
think
parents know
it's
this. Do your parents and your
Oh, yeah.
pastor? Does your pastor know this?
well, the pastor that I had growing up, I mean, he's probably not going to see this podcast, but I don't know that he would know it. I don't know that it's material to his thoughts about me at this point.
Okay,
So,
just making sure.
yeah.
So,
My parents know.
so you like what about school? You didn't have sex ed or anything like that?
We did, but sex ed in school is not exactly
It's the pancake batter
It's
showing
not
the
a-
ovaries.
the
Remember
Not
ed.
that?
a snatch in your
the ed,
face.
the ed is
Wait a
less
minute.
of a designate. The ed does not mean education. The ed means the name of the guy
Right.
teaching you about sex. That's what it.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
a-
No,
Yeah.
you didn't expect the girl to sit on your face. I get it.
So wait a minute. So now, so you're religious.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're not allowed to have sex. So
But
how
wait
old
a minute.
were you when
Wouldn't
you had
all the
sex?
people in your neighborhood be the same? Weren't the girls
again?
religious too?
They were religious, but everybody had different. Not everybody was the
Look,
same
at
church.
that age, girls are a lot more advanced than boys.
Sexually?
Yes.
I think so too.
Yeah, I will tell you that if it weren't for aggressive women, I probably wouldn't have had my first kiss till college.
What? Yeah, some guys are like that.
Yeah,
they
it was
they
one of
let
those
the
things.
girl be the
Well,
aggressor.
My thing was, I just didn't think women wanted it. In my head, I was like, they don't want this.
Why do you think
Right.
that?
Well, because I looked in the mirror and I talked with my guy friends all the time. I'm like, why would they? Empirically, what do you look at here and go, nah, I want that close to my face?
I don't know what I think.
Yeah.
It's
That
horny.
sound she just made, that's how guys' faces look.
I think what guys don't understand is at that age,
We don't.
women are
We don't.
horny.
I mean, they understood. I mean, anybody who had an older brother or sister probably.
you didn't
I
have an
didn't.
older
I was
bro-
the oldest.
Women aren't horny at that age.
I was
Sometimes they
very horny
At,
in high
at
school.
18?
High school? Are you shitting
No,
me?
you don't get horny till you're in your 30s.
No.
I
no,
was
no.
no.
I will tell you,
15
there are.
years old.
There are some.
There
Done.
were-
I hit
You
me.
know
It
who
hit
was-
me at 32. It was like, wow.
32.
What's a whole other
32?
thing? Yeah.
32.
15.
That's when I hit my peak.
Women hit their sexual peak older.
I
Well,
didn't
my
right?
peak was in my
I
Well,
didn't,
40s.
your
I didn't,
peak, your
I
peak.
didn't say I lost my
Oh.
virginity. I said it went from 0 to 1,000 at
Yeah.
32.
I can
Interesting.
accept
Mine
that.
was 45. But wait a minute. So how old were you when you figured out that a girl wants to bang you?
Well, I didn't. I don't know that I would have known that a girl wanted to bang me at that time. But the first time I was like, so I remember kissing the first girl I kissed, and I bragged to some guy about it.
Oh,
One of my
mistake.
friends. No, I told him, and he goes, Oh yeah, what's his name?
Just banged her.
Was caught naked with her, like last year or something. I'm like, what? And it just like blew my mind.
And you mean you were upset?
Blew my mind.
You were upset because you thought she was a virgin?
No, it wasn't that I was upset. It just shocked me. It just because once he told me, I was like,
you saw her differently.
I was like, well, no, that makes sense that she would. I just had never. It hadn't crossed my mind.
Now, did you look
You were
at her?
innocent.
I was.
Would you look at her as used goods now, or how?
See, that's my son. I think
Nah,
my son is not going to be aware.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of that, just right, and I think I was fortunate enough to be in that area.
Which area?
Where it's just the right amount of not knowing, but not being so ignorant that it ruins you.
That's
okay.
what makes a woman more interested.
Yeah.
What?
The fact that he didn't know, and she's like, "Well, I'll show him." Like,
oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
think
They
she
want to
might
walk
have been
him
a little.
through. It
She
turned
might have
around.
been a little disappointed. I mean, I will say my kiss technique probably left something to be desired.
Didn't you practice kissing?
No.
Who
I
do you
used to-
practice on?
I
The
On a
What?
pillow.
watermelon?
On a pillow. I used to French kiss my pillow before
Ew.
I went to.
You know what I did during
What?
that time? I
I'll
threw
never sleep
basketballs
over your
into
house.
hoops. That's what I practiced. I practiced sports. I didn't practice.
That is the.
These are weird things.
No, we knew like the drama. I was a drama person, and all the people in drama. We would have the end of season party, and everyone would play spin the bottle. You'd make out, and I said to my sister, I don't know how to make out. My older sister had a French kiss. She goes, you stick your tongue in, and I go, well, I don't do that. She goes, just practice on a pillow or on your hand. So I would just be like. In my hand, and I figured okay, and then
that's when you got the measles.
And my first guy I kissed was gay, by the way, which I didn't find out till later.
You're just a gay
What,
magnet.
did he
it was-
know it at
he-
the time, or did he find it
I
out
don't
later
know if
too?
he knew it
A
at the
lot of
time.
girls don't know a lot of things because one of my friends was like, "Kat, how do you give a blowjob?" And I
A
go,
lot of people don't know.
and I go, "Well, no,
guys
yeah,
just
but we
pretend-
were 20."
Guys pretend. They
Hold
do.
on a second. We were 20 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's asking me how to give head at 20.
Guys do a lot of research.
Okay, I go to her. Okay, I gave her, I don't know, a carrot or something. I go, what would you do with the carrot? And she goes like this. I said,
She ate
swear to God. She goes. I go, did you just blow
Yeah.
into the penis?
Was she religious?
From
That's so sad.
That's why it's named.
She
that,
goes, yeah,
right?
what are you supposed? I go, it's not a blow job. You don't take it literally like blow into the guy's fucking penis. He'll fucking fall off his chair.
Thank
I
God
mean,
for
in
you.
fairness, if you're touching it, you probably are holding his attention a little bit at least. So
I know, I don't
he's probably
even
not
think
going to
they
run
care.
off.
Wait, and so she's blowing into it like it's a trumpet?
Well, no, I'm saying he'll probably go, "What are you doing?" But he's probably not going to go, "Leave,
Bitch,
get out of
get-
here."
Bitch, get off me.
Good day, madam.
It's a teachable moment. It's like
No,
you're close. You're
when
close.
the first girl that I kissed, I remember she kissed me, and when she started kissing me, I knew nothing about
You
kissing.
mean like a tongue?
Yeah, and
Oh.
so I just remembered. I remembered immediately when she started kissing me. I'd seen some show recently on TV, and the guy goes up to a woman and goes, "Hold your breath," and then he just kisses her. And so in my head, I'm thinking, "Yeah,
I gotta
hold
hold
your
your
breath." And I did, and it kept going. I'm like, how is she holding her breath this long? And I'm just like, I'm not equipped for this. And so so at some point, I realized that clearly no one is holding their breath. I was clearly wrong about that. But at that point, I had deprived my body of oxygen for so long
That you
that
passed out.
I was a wreck for the remainder of the kiss. I was like nervous, just like shivery and trying to recover my breath.
Oh my
For the
God.
it had to be the worst kiss she's ever had.
It's so embarrassing. Well,
It was
That's hilarious.
It was the best and worst kiss I ever had.
And
now
did it
she
go
jammed
further?
her tongue in your mouth. Were
Oh,
you like,
yeah.
oh my God?
No, I was like, oh, this is fun.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I was attracted to her.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that at all anymore.
what,
Yeah,
tongue
that's fine.
kissing?
Oh God.
That's fair.
I prefer
It's
the
weird.
me tongue in there than that tongue in. You know what I mean? I like to be
I
the
thought it was-
tongue aggressor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like
Look
any
at
of
Adam.
it.
Ah,
I
what?
can't believe I know that now.
Ah,
you.
she's
I
a
mean,
tongue
I do. I
aggressor.
like
I get
a tongue, but like a little. You know, I don't like.
But
the
only in a
kind where you
mouth, not in
can't
an
breathe.
asshole. You won't stick your tongue in someone's
She
asshole.
wants
No.
a man's tongue to be like a Walmart greeter. Just shake my hand and invite me in.
No, just nicely.
That's what it is.
Here's what I don't like.
Nothing more.
I
Just
hate it.
greet me and bring me in. I'm going to the produce
I
section.
hate push. You know, like when you meet someone, I hate a pushy guy. I hate a sexually pushy guy. I hate a pushy guy. I hate a cocky guy. All those things I dislike.
That's fair.
But I will tell you how stupid I was when I was younger. I actually said to
Thank
my
you for
mother, and I didn't know
qualifying.
how to ask her this because I didn't know there was such a thing as a vagina. So I thought, well, how are people having sex? There's a pee hole. This is I was so embarrassed. I was like, I should have known. I was like in 6th grade. Like I should have known better because I knew about sex. Oh yeah, they put it in and blah blah blah. So I'm in the car with my mother, and I'm trying to be nonchalant. I'm open, and there's an ad for a tampon thing, and I go, oh, see the tampons? And she goes, yeah. And I go, well, I was curious. Where do you put this, in your pee hole or your butthole? And my mother just looks at me like I am the biggest idiot. And she goes, what are you talking about? And I go, well, where would this go? She goes, you know you have a vagina. And I'm like, oh, yeah, a vagina, sure. I didn't know I had a vagina. No one told me I had
it's
a
really
vagina.
funny. At that moment, your mother started hating you.
My mother hated me way before that moment. Way before.
See, that seems like a reasonable thing for a kid not to know.
But 6th grade. Shouldn't you know there's a vagina
You should.
somewhere?
You know
At that
what?
point,
I
yeah.
gotta be honest. I think if I had a kid and my kid didn't know at 6th grade, I'd be like, oh, that's nice that you just never
took
had to
after
encounter
me.
this ever.
But
There was something nice about never even dealing with that
Yeah,
until
that's true, I
I was
guess.
a little bit,
An
and I felt
innocence, too.
idiot. I felt like I was an idiot.
Well, most
for not
kids
knowing
are
it.
innocent until someone fucks them up and takes their innocence away. But
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing about most kids is adults.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
True. That's
Well, let's see. People are
Oh,
saying
yeah.
works clean. Oh my God, Palma's watching. Palma Florentino. Oh my God, my second husband at 32 left my ass off. I don't know what that means. Patty, you're a gay magnet. LOL.
I am.
Carrie,
I
are
am.
you sick?
You
yes,
are.
I
Yes,
am
you
sick
are.
in the head. I am. Yo, Adam. Ken Mosca.
Hello, Ken Musk.
He can.
Don
And what did Ken
Amici.
Mosca say?
Don Amici. Oh my God, I can't believe they mentioned Don Amici.
The actor?
Wait, why were they naming Don? You know that I had the worst crush on Don Amici when I
Did
was
you?
a kid. I was so in love with him. Remember the Don? Well, you're too young, but the Don Amici.
I remember him from Cocoon.
God, he had.
Sorry.
I remember when he was sexy and had black patent leather
Yeah,
hair.
not
and he was
anymore,
in
Patty.
movies.
Yeah.
And he had the Don Amici
I
Variety
didn't-
Hour.
Who says he wasn't sexy in
This
Cocoon?
girl, Victoria,
Mhm.
wants Adam on camera. She wants to see what he looks like.
What's
Step
the
in,
matter?
Adam.
Isn't Jason enough?
I know it. That's the
There's-
story of my life.
There's podcasts you can check out where I'm on camera.
Well, he took his shirt off 2
Yeah,
episodes
well,
ago.
that was for your bachelorette party.
That was for the bachelorette party. Maybe that was 3.
Yeah,
And it's really you have
don't-
to watch the whole thing.
Don't
in
tell
1
her
second.
Adam's been doing push-ups over there the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
That will
I
do
am
nothing.
pumped.
That will do
Adam,
nothing. But
somebody
get her
said,
steamed.
what's his name said, D-Train says Adam has a hitch in his giddy up.
A hitch in his giddy?
Okay.
I don't know.
Chris is a
You
friend
know
of
what
mine,
it is?
So.
But here's
I don't
the
know
thing.
what a hitch in your
Because
giddy up
I'm
means.
going back.
Okay.
You know, people, let's go
You know what the
forward.
problem is? Sometimes we read the thing that they said like 40
4
minutes
hours
ago,
ago.
and we're like, what does
Yeah.
that even mean now?
it was
'cause we're
funny
like-
in the moment.
It was.
Right.
It would have
Not
been good.
anymore.
You should have some like benchmarks in there somewhere.
Well,
you can
here's
go
the
like,
thing.
oh,
We
this
had
is
a
when we did
reader.
it.
We had a
Yeah.
guy who would read them, but he
Yeah.
fucked it all up. So
Mm.
Because what did he do? He tried to. What did he do?
he turned the camera on himself.
It was crazy. There was
Yeah.
some
yeah,
Tugboat Manning.
Tugboat Manning.
Tugboat
Yeah.
Manning.
Tugboat
Manning.
Manning.
Sounds trustworthy. I mean, I don't understand where that went wrong.
Largest
I mean,
intern you could
very
find.
big
Yeah.
boy.
Big
It was.
boy.
It was
I
hard
have
be-
never met a person named after a vehicle of any sort who was not
After a
trustworthy.
vessel.
Yeah, after any vessel. Yeah.
Giant vessel.
I couldn't think
Yeah.
of the word vessel.
Uh-huh.
You got it. That's it.
That's got it there.
Never
That's
met
a-
somebody named after a vessel that didn't really
Submarine Larry.
come through for me.
Very
Big
Larry.
Yeah,
guy, big guy.
clearly. I don't know the guy, but I trust him.
Four-wheeler Dickie.
Barge.
So you were an innocent.
I
So
was, yeah.
Were you? Did you ever become a player? Like when you started doing comedy, the girls come out
No,
after
that
the
just-
shows and they're like, "We want to go out
First
with
of
you."
all, when I started doing comedy, anybody who saw it was not interested in talking to me afterward. I'm
Did
like,
you
yeah.
suck in the beginning?
Oh, I was bad.
How long are you doing
Yeah.
it now?
10 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now you're finally good.
Now I'm good.
He's very
yeah.
funny.
Yes,
Very funny.
Very funny. terrifically
I don't know about
funny.
very funny.
He's got a number one
I'm
album. Why is
my-
your album number one? How do you get your album to be number one?
I just promoted the heck out of it.
How did
when
you
it
promote
released.
it? How did you promote it?
Facebook, everybody
That's
I knew.
great.
I told them anytime I would get in an argument with somebody on Facebook, I'm like, if you really care what I think, buy my album first, and we'll finish this. Like
wait a minute.
everything
Wait a
turned
minute.
into marketing.
So just from marketing on Facebook, you got a number one
Well,
album.
Facebook and
Twitter
just,
and all of
I actually I tried to do as many interviews, as many podcasts, whatever I could do. Like when it all
Say
came
the
out.
name of your say it now, so in case.
My
maybe
Force of Nurture,
Force
Jason
of Nurture,
Salmon.
very good.
Force of Nurture.
Good picture on the front too.
Thank you very much. My
He's got-
tuxedo shirt.
Very funny.
Yes.
I like all your pictures. I like the picture of you where you're. It's like a Sears portrait studio
Oh,
where they
yeah.
got the two heads and one's the floating
That's
head.
the back side of my album.
Yeah, I like that
That's the
picture.
back cover of my album.
That was
yeah.
like.
See, I think women, like being that you're a funny guy,
Mhm.
women are more attracted to the funny guy, even if they're not as good looking.
Mhm.
As
What are you saying? He's not as good looking. What are you trying
That's
to say?
fair.
Kat? That's not.
no, what
That's
He's
my
very,
type.
He's very
No, no,
cute.
My
no.
type is not as good looking.
What, you don't like
Yeah.
girls that are that good looking?
No, that's my type. That's how I would sell myself.
on like if
yeah.
you were on a dating website,
Yeah, I would
not
sell
as
myself.
good looking.
I would sell myself as a guy who works under a truck but has a dental plan.
right.
That's sort of where I
like,
fit
look,
in the world.
let's be honest.
Yeah,
there,
that's what you
there
do.
are you, the David Tells, and then there
Yeah.
are
No,
the
he's
wait,
not-
and then they're the. I love David Tell. I think he's adorable.
He's very cute.
and
but-
then there are the Russman Eves.
okay, the fact that you keep always thinking Russ Maneve is hot is disturbing
It's
to
my
me.
type.
I will
Russ
say
I
Maneve,
get
Russ
it.
Maneve is a very good-looking man.
Russ Maneve to me. Okay, I like Russ Maneve in a way. I mean, I don't know him that well. He's very nice, but he's too the
Pretty?
white teeth, and he's like, oh, and when he smiles, he goes, oh, like that, and it's just like, no.
No, that's his
No.
smile.
No, because what
But
guys
yeah,
go, oh, like
but
that.
a little you're complaining because he's too good looking.
No, it's not. It's too.
Well, you know what it is.
pretty.
Patty?
There's
he's,
no-
He's like one of those good-looking guys that knows he's really good looking.
That's
so
what
he's
the
a little bit
problem.
of a cheese ball.
That's
which
the
Carrie
yes,
Love.
yes. I like
Yeah.
the guys who come
No.
in the back door, so to speak,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where they
right.
don't know how
You
cute
like a
they
little
are.
modesty.
I like
But-
a guy where you go, wow, you discover how cute. You go, oh my God, he's so fucking cute.
But
Without
see,
him-
I
Ugh.
love,
Yeah, I would say-
like a lot of women go. David Tells like straight women. Not, I don't mean straight women.
David Tell
I
is
mean,
sexy
A
because he's
lot
funny.
of people that just like my friends that are not comics will say, I don't find him good looking. I'm like, he is fucking so
Adorable. He's
adorable.
adorable.
I can marry him. I can have his kids.
Okay, you're
David
married
Tell.
and you have
I don't-
kids.
not now.
Okay.
Like,
Not legally.
and I find you adorable.
He's
if I can
very
go
cute.
back in time
Right.
to be 38 again, when I was hot. Okay?
Very hot.
I could be with him and end up fucking marrying him.
The
because he's
moderately
funny
wide
and
back
Bubba-
years?
What?
Were these the moderately wide back years? Is that how we
Exactly.
designate that era?
Exactly.
Can I just say,
38, not a 48.
backs on women are very sexy. Do you know, in the 20s and 30s, they did all the dresses where they would come up here and then go in the
All
back,
the way
all the
down.
way down, and they'd take the
Yeah.
necklace that usually you wear down the front
And wear it down
they'd
the back.
put it here and down the back. The back was a big erogenous zone, and I'll tell you, it had a beautiful back, and it was broad like a man's. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I watched 4 of her movies in a row. I was up till 6 in the morning because I'm obsessed with her, and I think she's
Jessica
so sexy.
Tandy.
No, and she's a semi-lesbian. Now I'll never
Hume
remember her
Cronin.
name. No.
Betty Davis.
No, beautiful. I want to be alone. Who's that one?
Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
That's,
I want.
Patty.
that's Dracula,
No,
yeah, right.
right?
I want to be alone. Yeah. God damn it.
That is every one of them I've ever
Greta
dated.
Garbo.
Okay.
Greta
Greta
Garbo.
Garbo.
Yeah,
Greta
yeah.
Garbo had the back like a guy, no tits, beautiful face with like just and all but
Sold.
so sexy, you know. But anyway, I'm just saying I found
A
her.
back like a guy and no tits.
No tits.
No tits.
She
And
was
no-
a sex symbol.
And no ass, Adam. I was saying this to Kevin when we were watching. I go, this is how women used to be sexy. No tits, no ass. That I would have done great in the 20s. I would have been perfect for the 20s.
You would have been.
That was
Anyway.
Flapper. It wasn't
And that
like the
you missed it
Flappers.
by like 5 years.
Yeah.
That is so fucking hurtful. So
That's like your
hurtful.
catchphrase.
That is. It's so
Hurtful.
hurtful to me. Adam. Now, hear Adam's new girlfriend is against type. I've been listening to a podcast.
I guess I wouldn't say against type, but
Not with type.
Type
she's
adjacent?
She's a lot.
She type adjacent.
A lot of
What's
the
a type adjacent?
That's close to type.
Yeah, she's very close to
Oh,
type.
type
How big is
adjacent.
her ass?
Not
Exactly.
not super
See,
big, but
Adam
she's very
likes a
very
big
womanly.
ass.
Curvy
She's
though.
got
Curvy
very
though. See, that's the
curvaceous.
thing.
He likes a
Okay.
curvy.
My girl's petite but curvy.
Oh, she's got curves with
Yeah,
her big back.
But
okay.
petite.
Petite, you like a
used
little
to be
girl.
petite.
That's it's not what I've generally gone for in the
Oh,
past.
interesting.
All
How's
right, well,
that?
he
What made
hit
you
it
like
off with
her?
her.
What made you like her?
She's sexy.
Sexy. That was the first. That's what men always like.
No,
the
no,
first
no,
thing.
no.
No, don't
Men
say
like
no, no, no.
hot first.
Men like hot first.
men
He's
like
right.
hot
What's
first.
between hot and sexy? I don't know the difference.
Hot is how you look. Sexy is who you are. Like sexy's got a thing. You can look 1,000 different ways and be sexy. Hot has a really narrow
Right.
space.
Big
I'm not
tits.
understanding this.
Whatever.
Hot is capable of being seen on Instagram. Sexy is not. Sexy,
Oh.
you gotta.
Sexy can wear flannel.
Sexy,
and be
you gotta
sexy.
see them in action. They could be
Right.
wearing
Right.
flannel. They could be
Oh.
wearing.
I didn't understand
Yeah,
that. Okay.
hot is all about the appearance. Sexy is about the vibe.
How'd you get her to like you? Did you have to
She
woo
liked
her?
me before I liked her.
What does that mean?
We were friends for a long time.
Oh, you came
When
in the
Harry
Yeah.
met
route.
Sally.
The first sort of interaction that we had to that effect, she said, "Would you be interested in going out with me?" And I'm like,
Could never
nah,
ask.
I wouldn't."
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
And why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
because I wasn't at the time.
And then what? How does that change? I don't
Well,
get
Because he
I
was
got-
hog tying somebody else.
I got to know her. We got to know each other. We enjoyed each other a lot. You know, it was just one of those things. I got to the point where I was like, I don't like it. I like it when I get to see her. You know, and
So,
you
but-
just sort of.
Where did you meet?
We met at a gym. We both worked as
Oh,
personal
you're both-
trainers.
I guess
Oh,
you
stop,
stopped
you're
going
both-
since then, huh?
Stop. No, he's very.
I
well
have to
built.
go to the gym. Look
What?
at me. I have a
You're
laborer's body, and
No,
I
no,
work
you-
in a. I work in a world of words. If I didn't go and push things around the building, my body
Does
would
she
just
still go
shut
to
down.
the gym?
Oh yeah, she's still a
So
trainer.
she's still into
You
it.
both go together now? Is this your
No,
thing?
we do not.
You do
we,
not go
we
together.
do our own stuff when we do it. Yeah.
Interesting. But I'm
Ugh.
I wanna
confused
see a
by
picture of her.
liking someone and thinking they're sexy now, but then there was a time where you didn't find her sexy. That doesn't
No,
make sense.
well, I just sexy. You don't always pick up all right.
No,
right
because
at
he
once,
fell in
you
love
know?
with her personality.
Yeah,
and
you do. I mean,
everything
that's
about
part of the
her.
reason when I see her now. I don't. It's not about like every little nook and cranny. Like she can get older and fatter.
My
and,
husband loves me
and
because
weird. Sexy can be ugly, but
See?
you're still sexy.
right.
Like there's that thing.
Interesting.
Yeah,
My husband thinks I'm sexy.
I think. Yeah, that's the key.
She blows her nose.
She
That's the
blows
kid.
her nose with her reading glasses
I don't know
on.
why.
You know what? You know what? My girl. Sometimes I'll walk in. My girl be like a 50-pound sweater on and her reading glasses.
that's when you wanna
and
bang her.
And I'm like, this broad, sexy
Really?
broad. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
interesting. Today, actually, Kevin said to me, he never says this. He goes, "You look very sexy today." And I go, "You know why?" And he goes, "Why?" I go, "Because I'm not in my pajamas," which is what I am in whenever he sees me. I'm always just in pajamas with my hair fucked up. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm actually and
Yeah.
usually he's out when I'm going out. And then I come home and I just take everything off and I look like shit. You know what I mean? So he actually saw me with makeup on.
Pajamas can be very sexy.
Not
though.
my pajamas.
Okay.
I feel like
you shot that back.
No,
so
I don't
quick.
have a cute
Not my
nightie.
pajamas.
Yeah.
I've got like old sweatpants.
no, but I think
from
people
the 80s.
I think people interchange hot and sexy as if they're the same thing, and they're not. They're
They're
two
not.
different things.
I'm still having
There
a
was
hard
a
time with
scene-
Here's the thing.
There-
Here's I had because
Go ahead.
this is partly based on a joke that I've written, but I
Okay.
had my joke says that sexy gets better, and hot just cools.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And just like anything that cools, it is not the same when you reheat it. Nicole Kidman is Exhibit A. of
Interesting.
Right.
that.
Yes.
Well,
So-
there was a movie called House Sitter with Steve Martin and
Queen
and Whoopi
Latifah.
Goldberg.
No,
not Whoopi Goldberg, Goldie Hawn.
Latifah.
God,
Queen Latifah was what was that one?
I don't know.
Steve Martin
No.
and Queen Latifah.
I just like the idea of that being in a movie.
They were.
No,
I
Whoopi
believe
No, they
Goldberg.
weren't.
No,
No.
Queen Latifah and Steve Martin.
Oh yeah,
were
they
in a
were
movie
in.
together.
Weren't they in Bow Tie or Shoe Bow or something?
No.
Boat trip? Is that a
No, that's a totally.
Oh, maybe that was with Eddie Murphy. It
that was
somebody
Eddie
black.
Murphy. That was Eddie Murphy
Bowfinger?
and Bowfinger.
Bowfinger.
That was Eddie
Bow
Murphy.
Tie.
That was
I
Eddie
thought that
Murphy.
was a
Martin
woman.
Lawrence,
Okay.
right?
Bowtie was a pasta.
Okay.
Oh, the
I
pasta.
saw them
Oh,
eating a
mistake.
pasta at a restaurant together.
No, so
Wow.
they're in a movie
Yes.
called House Sitter. It's
Okay.
hilarious.
Who's in it?
Goldie Hawn and Steve Martin.
Okay.
And what happens is he meets her in a restaurant, and then they have sex. She pretends she's a Hungarian. She's a con artist.
I
She
didn't
pretend-
see this.
She pretends she's a Hungarian waitress, and all of a sudden he goes, "Gwen, when are you getting off? And when can we go and get something, whatever?" So she goes,
Classic.
'Cause
Classic Steve Martin.
because she has this Hungarian accent,
Oh.
and she pretends she doesn't understand what he's saying.
Oh.
So then she goes, "Oh, I'm getting off in 5 minutes," and he goes, "What?" Like she
Without
speaks
the accent.
So then he goes, "I'll walk you home." And she goes, "Well, no, you don't have to. It's very close." And he goes, "No, I'll walk you home." So he walks her around like 10 blocks, and then they come back to the restaurant. And he goes, "We're back at the restaurant." She goes, "Yeah, I live upstairs." He goes, "I thought you said you wanted me to walk you home." She goes, "No, you wanted to go for whatever." Anyway, the bottom line is she finds out he has sex with him, and he leaves her and just doesn't, say anything. But he drew a picture of his house that he bought for his fiancée that turned him down.
Okay, to
So
her.
she's got a picture of this house. She knows he lives in Dobbs
Look at
Ferry.
his face.
She occupies the whole house because he's not there. And he comes home and she's taken over his house.
Yes.
Okay. Hilarious movie. At one point he falls in love with her, but he doesn't realize it, and he goes, "Don't wear that." It was like a real sexy thing. She goes, "Why?"
Mhm.
He goes, "No." He goes, "Don't." No, she was wearing. I'm saying this wrong. This story
Is there
horrible.
gonna be tapioca pudding or not? Is
At
there-
the end, she's wearing the turtleneck. She's wearing a turtleneck. He goes, "Don't wear that." And she's like, "This?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Please don't wear that. It's turning me on." So then she goes, "Okay, well, what about this?" And she pulls up a flannel, and he goes, "Yeah, don't wear that either. That's too hot." And so, in other words, he's finding her attractive in
Right.
the most ugliest clothing.
Yeah.
I see. That
That's what sexy is. He fell in love with her.
in her ugly clothes, and it was sexy.
Right.
Yeah.
That
See,
was so long.
That was a
It
long
took a
way to
long
go.
get
time
to
to
there.
get there.
But if you get a chance,
I feel like we really could have just.
if you get a chance, watch the movie House
Yeah.
Sitter because it's hilarious. I'm surprised you guys haven't seen
You
it.
haven't seen it either?
I
House
feel
Sitter?
like I have.
That's so mean.
It was so hurtful.
Hurtful.
That was so hurtful.
Great. MW Holiday goes, "Great story, Carrie." Hey, go fuck yourself too.
Oh, by the way, Mark Holiday. Only his name.
My
isn't really
worst holiday.
My
is
worst
called,
holiday.
is the podcast. You got to watch it because we were on it today.
We did it today. Carrie and me, we told stories about shitty gigs.
Shitty
My
gigs.
worst. You should go on his show.
Yeah.
You just do it. It's
Good
very
show.
easy. Do it from your house.
You do it from
Oh,
your
there
house.
we
And
go.
they ask you a shitty story, and then you know
Okay.
it's fun.
MW. I always say MJ. MW says the story wasn't as good as it was long. So very hurtful.
There's a lot of things that aren't as what they are as that was long.
That's
Oh, wow.
hilarious.
Now you're from Texas, and
Yes.
some of the best comics are from Texas. Sam
Name one.
Sam Kinison isn't from Texas, but he was part of that whole
Bill
Texas
Hicks was
mob.
a Texas
Bill
guy.
Hicks,
Yes.
Ron Schock. Oh, did you know those guys? Did you watch
No.
the? You
They're
never
before
saw
your
those
time.
guys.
No,
Before your time.
Yeah, they were before my time, and even when I came up here, I didn't think I wanted to do stand-up comedy. That was the
So you
furthest
weren't
thing
even
from my
do-
mind.
Oh, so you
So what
didn't-
made you become a comic?
Because I'd done everything else, and I was like, I should try this.
You're an actor,
I'm an actor. I was an actor first before I was anything.
so you've done plays and stuff.
Plays and sketches and
Did
films.
you make money at
and-
that? Is there money?
Yeah, that's where I make most of my money
So
right
you
now.
don't have
I
a
do
day job?
commercials all the time.
You
I,
do?
Yeah, I've had commercials
What
for the last
commercials have you
5 years.
done?
I've done.
I
I'm
must
the
have seen 'em.
spokesperson for Napa Auto Parts.
You do have a good voice.
I'm I've done some voiceover stuff for Lowe's.
Can you
I
drop
did-
the accent?
I can, but most people like it.
No, but I mean,
I
if
don't-
I
Yeah,
want you to
yeah.
play a New York guy.
I don't
Oh
notice
yeah,
the
yeah.
Southern
I did
accent
my
on you.
one of my first traveling gigs was as a New Jersey moving guy.
Let me hear it.
I was just a Jersey guy, you know. I was going. Where was I? All through. Was Netcong? You ever been to Netcong?
Oh my God, that's good.
That's
right?
pretty
Yeah.
good.
That's
yeah.
really good.
What about Long Island? Can you do Carrie's accent?
No.
You just got to make it longer. You
Yeah,
just
longer.
got to really
Oh my God.
elongate.
And you got to go
What?
in the back of the
What?
throat. Oh my God! I can't
Yeah.
believe you. My kids are terrible.
I can't believe I sound like that.
Not completely.
Oh.
Nah, you don't sound that happy.
No, look at me. I'm
She's,
snotting
I'm so
all
afraid
over.
I'm going to get
I'm-
boogers from you.
You don't understand. This is an allergy attack. Either I'm allergic to your hairspray or whatever you sprayed
I
yourself.
did spray a lot of hairspray in
Did
today.
ya?
It could be it.
Ah,
Yeah,
it's
that's it.
because her husband called her sexy.
That's
She's
it.
like
I was like,
dolling herself up.
That only happens about once a year.
It's
so
a
I was
trap.
like, woo!
So you're gonna go home and give him some
See,
tonight?
I call my girlfriend sexy, and she says, "Shut up," and then she just does whatever she's doing.
That's so great.
yeah,
I
that's
love
why
her.
I love her.
and you
I love
can't-
her too now.
Yeah, you
I
should.
always, when I was younger, I always wanted to be like, I always wanted to be like a sex kitten, you know, like I would watch, and I was the farthest from, you know, anything like that, but I used to love.
Because you're awkward within yourself.
Yeah.
I am awkward. And I used to watch those women like Sophia Loren, you know, because I'm old, Sophia Loren, and all these women who would just be like, da, 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 da. And I just wanted to be like that.
Yeah, Brigitte Bardot.
All those girls.
Brigitte
Fucking
Bardot
hot.
was so gorgeous.
Yes.
Now look at her.
Bridget Bardot looks
Wow.
terrible now.
Wow, I think she's got one tooth left.
She does that horrible black eyeliner
It's one
all
tooth.
around.
Where are you guys
And the-
seeing Bridget Bardot?
Oh my God, she
On
rescues
Facebook.
dogs,
On
so she's
Facebook.
always with a dog somewhere. It's like she said, "Fuck it all, fuck it, I don't give a shit anymore."
But she was
At some
drop dead
point.
gorgeous.
I know.
At some point, you're like, eh.
Yeah, but listen, even
Wanna
if you
rescue dogs.
if you were sexy and then you become rescuing dogs, can you comb your hair?
Something. Shower. Shower.
He
You
thinks we're
can tell
being
she
cruel.
doesn't shower.
D-Train says she's Bridget Bardot.
Very good, D Train.
D-Train is so funny.
Oh,
love
that
D-Train.
Classic D-Train.
Why not? Okay, so what on-camera commercials would I know you from? Maybe I've seen you.
Did
in
you ever see the Geico Witch in the Broom Factory commercial?
No.
I did that one. I did a Toyota commercial where I got bitten by a snake and ran through the bayous of
Fuck, no.
New Orleans.
Wait, that's for which one was that?
Toyota.
Is that playing in New York or
Is that
all
I
over?
playing
mean,
now?
none of them are playing right now.
Okay,
except
give me
The
another
only
one.
one that's playing right now is one that I'm just a factory worker
Which
in the
one?
background. It's CDW. I don't know where you would even
I don't
see it.
even know.
So
But you got principal pay?
Yeah.
Good.
yeah.
So you make a living at this?
Yeah, I make a living doing commercials.
Do you make a living at
Now,
comedy
you have
too?
a big agent?
Commercially, my agent's great.
Who
She's, I mean,
Cunningham Escott and
No, it's not. She's not a
Abrams?
huge agent. She's
Oh.
Carol Ingber.
Who?
Carol Ingber. Ingber and Associates.
Ingber. See,
Yeah.
that's why I said to you, don't go with a big wig because
Yes.
you'll get more work.
That's
Because
true.
you'll be number one on their roster.
The big ones don't have fucking time for you.
She's great. I mean, she gets everybody work on her roster.
How'd
I
you
mean,
get her?
I've met several people who were with her, and she kills it with
So
it.
how for people who don't have an agent, how do you get
Yes.
an agent? What'd you do?
I was in a short film, and the woman who played my wife in the short film thought I was funny. She was a model. She worked with Carol, and she said, "You should meet my agent." And so I ended up meeting Carol. Took me about a
So
year
she
of
introduced
interacting
you.
with her before she brought me in, and I auditioned for her, and then she started sending me out. and
Now you're
stuff.
her moneymaker.
I'm one of them. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you do that well.
I do pretty
I
well.
always want to know how
Yeah.
people are successful because I've been nothing but unsuccessful. I had like two
Well, that's
successful
how
You're
you-
negative.
years.
That's how you get successful, is being unsuccessful.
I am unsuccessful. I had one successful year
Well, you don't
when I
think
did radio and one successful year where I did TV.
You
and the
don't think-
rest, I'm down the fucking tubes.
you don't think Two Tights wants a successful Patty?
I
I'm
do
very
think.
hurt.
No, wait a
That's
minute.
Very
No, aside
very
from this
hurtful.
podcast, when I guess when I was saying
Besides
successful,
the 6 figures you're pulling in tonight.
I
Not
guess
all
my
at
point
once.
is
Yeah.
that financially,
And not all on the left side of the decimal.
It's two at a time.
Yeah.
financially, I was meaning successful. Financially,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
get
Have you
it.
ever seen her stand up?
I haven't seen
One
either
of
of
the
your
funniest.
stand-ups.
Yeah, we've never worked.
One of
Yeah.
the funniest.
She's
Yeah?
funny. She's the one.
I believe it. I believe you're
She-
both funny.
Hard to follow. Can't follow.
You know, you
Yeah.
can play Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood if they do his story.
Don't.
Tom
ta-
Hanks is doing it already, so
He
I'm sort
is?
of out
That-
of the running.
He
Yeah.
doesn't look anything like him. You look like him.
Well,
Shave the mustache.
you
You,
know
have
what?
the voice.
Here's the thing. I can yell that at 1,000 people in Hollywood, and I'm
Really?
going to bet they'll all give it to Tom still.
I can't believe he's playing it. He kind of has a doughy face, like a little round
Yeah.
chubby.
And
He's
chubby.
old.
And he's chubby.
But
And
he
he's
played.
fat.
He played Forrest Gump.
Chubby.
I mean, the dude's, back and forth.
Can I just say about Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
I
Was
never
that
did.
a bad movie?
It's
or
about
am I-
time somebody does.
That movie
The world is ready.
semi-sucked. Am I right?
It did. Well, and not only that, it won the Oscar. And you know what other movies were up for an Oscar
No,
that
tell
year?
me. I want to know.
Pulp Fiction.
I never
That
saw
should
it.
have won.
One of the great. It changed the entire
How did
genre.
it change it? Go ahead.
Because it all went from being about the killing and the family and all that to this sort of like everyman conversational world of like these are real people. They just happen to have a job where they kill people. Like that's what it became after Pulp Fiction. Like that changed the entire genre.
And it also
Really?
resurrected
John
Travolta's
Travolta.
life.
Ugh,
Yeah,
I
it
can't
did.
stand John Travolta, but anyway.
But I mean, he had a nice little stretch there for
Yeah,
a while.
yeah,
He
yeah, I
did.
guess so.
Sam Jackson. It put Samuel Jackson on the
That's
map.
right.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean, it gave us a
okay.
lot of things. Shawshank Redemption
Yeah, that
lost
was
out
up.
to it
yeah.
that year.
Really?
It was up. Yeah.
And that Forrest Gump, I didn't find to be. It
Quiz
was kind of
Show
boring.
was up.
for-
Even Mike Lee's best ever movie, Secrets and Lies.
I don't even know that movie.
It was a movie. Cinephile.
Are you still like that? You see every movie that comes out?
I don't anymore. I
Uh,
used to. I like seeing weird movies, though.
Did you ever see Eraserhead? Speaking
No,
of
I
weird
didn't.
movies.
No.
The weirdest movie I ever saw was
It was the.
Eraserhead.
I used to watch it every weekend.
What do you, I know because it was playing down in New York. It was. Why would you go to that movie? That was the most disturbing. I saw that movie. A guy took me. Some guy who wanted to.
Was
he
that
was.
Jim Jarmusch?
It was
Who
a
did that?
guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think so. And this guy was Israeli. He's trying to go out, and he's very sexy. He's very pushy, and he's like, "Come on, come on, we're going to." And he had like this accent and blah blah blah.
I
And
get
let's
it.
go. We're going to smoke pot in the back of the. And I didn't smoke pot. He goes, "Oh, I have some." He had booze. He had potty. I didn't want any part of it. That movie, I had the worst headache. I just wanted to leave. It was so disturbing. I don't even remember what it was about.
He was a guy who would do weird things in his basement or like with a vice grip, and he did like weird shit. He had a weird. I remember watching this.
Why would you go
You
again?
are going to have her explain what this movie is about after everything we already know?
It's been years since Eraserhead. High school.
Can we just admit none of us know what Eraserhead is about?
I don't know what it's about. But wait, before we leave
It's a weird
Forrest
guy.
Gump, the thing that bothers me, okay,
Launched the career of Haley Joel Osment.
who's that? Was he in that?
Yeah, he
Oh,
played
he
his,
played
he
the
played
kid.
young Forrest.
Yeah, and look what happened to him. He grows up. That's it. No
yeah,
more.
but first he saw dead people, and I would
Yeah.
trade that for him growing up into being a loser
Really?
every day.
All right, you
yeah.
think?
Oh, he was great.
I
He
didn't-
does. Speaking of deserve the Oscar, he lost out to Michael Caine, who got it because he did an English accent and he did
Wait,
he did
they
an
put
American
a little kid
accent.
up against Michael
well,
Caine?
they just nominate 5 people. They don't really say, "Hey, this little kid's going to go up against." It wasn't like it was a battle.
Remember when Tatum O'Neal? Oh, you don't remember? You probably weren't born. Tatum O'Neal went up against
Paper
adults,
Moon.
and she
Yeah,
won.
She
was
did.
great in
so
that.
did Anna Paquin.
But
Tatum O'Neal, when she was a kid, she was phenomenal.
she was terrific, and her father. Neither her
Ryan.
father nor her mother. I think her mother might have been dead by then, but I'm not sure. But neither of them went with her for the Academy Award. She had like a
Because they were
nanny go
irritated.
because the father evidently was very jealous.
He probably was.
And he had always wanted an Academy Award, and I think he was nominated and did not win.
What an asshole!
He's
well, if
a
he was
complete
nominated, he
fucking-
would have gone.
That's
Yeah,
why
so then he
she's.
wasn't
That's why
nominated.
she
Yeah.
became a drug addict.
That's why she became a drug addict.
Well, in fairness, that
because-
was probably a reflection of his parenting, not
Correct.
the cause
He
of
was
it.
No,
terrible.
not that.
yeah,
I read her
Yeah.
book.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Because of her father being such a douche.
yeah.
Her drug use. came-
And-
Ironically, it's also the reason she won the Academy Award, probably. So
because you mean she didn't
glass
have
half full.
So he used to slam the car door on her legs. I read her book, and I
Really?
just that always stuck
Now, was
with
this
me.
because she was playing a paraplegic? Was he trying? Was she trying to get her into
This-
the role?
This was
What
in
they-
real
what
life.
was that
He
In
called?
real life, he
he
would
was a
do it.
bad-
Something method. The
narcissistic asshole. I don't know if you ever
Yes.
saw the.
Kind of method.
We already said he was an actor.
Did you see? Did you see the Oprah reality show with her and her father?
I thought Oprah was a reality
and they
show.
went
That's not-
to. They went to therapy together, and he was it was so painful. I watched one, I couldn't watch him
But he
again.
did have a kid, another kid with Farrah Fawcett.
And where did
and
he
he-
end up? Fucking jail.
Oh, I thought he
Redmond.
loved that kid.
He might have loved him, but the kid's in jail and does
See?
drugs. They're
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
fucked
they're
up.
all
You
fucked.
don't,
The
you
father's
don't
an
love
idiot.
them. They end up a drug
Father's
addict. You
an
love
idiot.
them. They go to jail. What do you do?
Yeah.
Here's
That's
the
why I
part
chose
didn't-
not to have kids.
You don't want to have
There's
kids?
no choice.
He does.
I'm
I
just
think
gonna
you might have
rescue one.
kids.
How old your wife? I mean, your girlfriend.
She's 50. I don't know. I forget. I'll have to check
Oh,
my
so she's
calendar.
not
Is she
gonna have-
older than you?
Yeah, she is.
I mean, I gave you both of our ages. You're gonna make me do the
Wait,
math here?
you
12
said,
years older.
You're perpetuating a
she was-
stereotype,
you
not
said
doing
she
this
was
math.
50 just now.
Yes.
And he's 38, so she's 12 years
So
old.
she's
again.
not having any kids. So then I could go out with you if you're dating her.
Well, no, that's the reason
Carrie.
you can't go out with me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Carrie, why would
that
you
sentence
say-
works the complete opposite of the way you tried to make it work.
Why do you think that you don't have eggs at this point?
No, but I mean, he's dating someone who's 50 that's closer to my age than his.
Okay, so maybe that's what he wants.
I know, but
I
that's
just
what I'm
want-
saying.
I
I
just-
could have been a contender.
I just want her, whatever it is, whatever
I
age she is.
could have been a
Could have been.
contender.
Carrie, you have a husband. Calm down. You know, Carrie is so used to
Yeah.
being the cutest,
Single?
hottest girl in
Yeah.
the room.
Not
that
anymore.
She wants anyone who comes in.
That's
It's like,
all right.
well, I could fuck you, right? I mean, you would want to.
Yeah, I don't know if that's contender. Maybe you should be saying I could have been a container.
No, I am a contender.
Okay,
now.
all right. Maybe that's what it is.
I'm like a storage box.
There you go.
No, you're much more than that. You're a cushiony one.
You're
Yeah.
you're one of those flowery storage boxes.
Do we have any other comments?
No.
That's
Um,
it. We
wait.
shut them up.
Do I have any other questions?
That was my
for
goal.
you?
But that was funny, Jason.
Thank you.
Any shitty gig stories? You go back to Texas a lot to do shows?
I do. Yeah, I'm going back this weekend.
Oh, you are? So you go back and then you see your family and do all that shit?
Yeah.
And do you have people like, are you big in Texas?
I have
Following?
people come out and see me. Yeah, they people who I fight with on Facebook from my hometown.
That's
Now, what do you
great.
mean
Come
you
out
fight
and
with
see-
them on? What kind of
Oh,
fighting are
we
you
have
doing?
political. It's all political.
And are
Everything
you?
on.
I get a feeling you're liberal.
Yeah. I'm moderate. I would say moderate. I don't think anybody's right. I think both sides are wrong.
Thank you.
I just think that
I'm so there with you.
more people have to just think for themselves about every single thing. It's okay to like one side's view on one thing and the other side's view on another thing.
So you can go over each
I think
side.
you gotta use nuance. I think everything's a lot more complicated, and we tried to distill it into memes instead of real
I
things.
think it's one side, actually.
What?
There is no side.
Here's my thing. I think the right doesn't think enough about things, and the left thinks way too much about things. And I think everybody needs to just find a happy middle and just quit trying to oversimplify. The right are the men. Like it's like the way a man thinks. It's where you just simplify everything down to one thing and you move in a straight line. And the left is like women, where it just there's all these complications and all these details that nobody ever thinks about except you in your head all the time, and it drives you crazy. And then
That's
you
her.
get mad at
That's
the right
me and
for it.
Carrie's the
Yeah.
guy.
No, but that's what it is.
Carrie's like
That's
a
I
guy.
think that's how it parallels.
And now when you get in fights with people about politics or whatever,
Yeah.
you block them. You say "fuck you."
No,
You
I'm
just fight.
I'm
and
very
let them-
civil. I say fight. I actually never get angry at them. I
You
mean,
don't?
I might get angry, but it doesn't come across.
Oh,
I'm
you-
very civil.
You're secretly angry.
My rule is if I engage with you on Facebook or any other social media,
Right.
I will be jokey and snarky, but that is the extent of.
You're not going to piss you off.
I'm
no
not,
one's pissing you.
I mean, I may piss you off, but it's only because you're angry that I believe what I believe. I'm not going to piss you off based on saying something irrational or mean.
Well-
You're not going to get pissed off.
Oh, I'm not. You're not going to piss me off. I
Never.
mean, you may irritate me, but
Yeah, I don't get
I'll take
pissed
a
off.
deep breath and I'll be all right.
Well, I see these
I don't
ugly
get
fights
mad.
where
I don't
people
get
are like,
mad.
"Fuck
I
you."
laugh at these
the
people.
problem is too many people are emotional about politics.
Listen,
it's just
people-
like everybody has a different angle on life. Your life has taken you down a different path than my life has taken me down. We can both coexist in the same world, and it can be okay.
Yeah, but if you put a Trump hat on right now, somebody
Yeah.
will beat the shit out of you.
Well,
I don't know.
first of
beat the
all,
shit out of them.
yeah, I mean, you have to.
You don't see all the fights that go down. That kid.
I mean,
They-
at the same time, you could say that a person with a Trump hat is just as likely to try to beat the shit out of somebody who is wearing skinny jeans.
No,
you
no,
know?
no. But what I'm
I
saying,
mean-
to you,
I mean,
on
this-
video, you see
I know, but the
people go,
thing is-
"Take the hat off! Take the hat off!"
I know,
take the-"
but
and then
how
they-
many videos
But
have
how
you
many
seen
of those
like
guys
that?
are beating the shit out of
No,
people
here's the
at
thing.
rallies?
How many videos have you seen like that?
A lot.
Like
Carrie
how
goes
many?
on
Like
Facebook.
100?
I
No,
don't know about 100.
3.
Right.
No,
so
I saw
let's
more.
let's
I
think
saw
of the
more.
number.
6.
Let's think of the number of people who wear Trump hats at a rally, at
No,
one rally
no.
in one city in one state. Is that 1,000
No, I'm
or
talking about.
100,000?
I'm not talking about at a rally.
No, but what I'm saying
He's
is you're
coming back.
what I'm saying is that you're taking very isolated things
Right.
that are being marketed to you
Yes,
as the way
Right.
things are.
Yes.
That's right. There.
And that's the
Gotcha.
thing. I'm saying that saying that people who wear MAGA hats get beaten up is as irresponsible as saying that people who wear MAGA hats are racist. Because there is probably a tiny fraction of both of those things that are true, and the rest of it is not.
Right. But there were some videos that were disturbing, like
I
a
know,
little boy
absolutely.
in school, and a teacher goes to him, "Take your hat off," and he goes, "No, I don't want to
Well,
take
you have
my
to take your
hat."
hat off in school. You're not allowed to wear
No,
hats
no,
in
no.
school.
He goes, "Take that hat off," and he slapped the kid, and he slapped the hat off of him.
Well, who's
he goes,
taking a video of that?
So another kid. So I
That
think the
seems
teacher got.
fixed or something. I don't know.
No, I think the teacher got fired or whatever.
But that's the thing, is like the things like that, everybody thinks that's bad. Like almost every reasonable person on both sides
Reasonable.
thinks that.
I'm a
That's the
liberal.
key
thinks
word.
But
And
that's
of
the
course
thing.
it's
is
Reasonable.
I really honestly think that most people in a real world situation are reasonable.
Reasonable.
It's when we get into these like non-facial
That's
recognition
what I feel about
sequences
social
in
media.
Facebook.
It gets
yeah.
so ugly so fast.
Because nobody can see each other's
That's
faces.
right. And
There's
you-
no empathy.
And you can come in from
Yeah.
like I don't know, and you don't know that person, and it's like being in a car. You know, when you're in a car and you just want to fucking ram into the person in front of you. But you know, like you ever do that?
And
you're
then
like,
you pull up, and
and
it's
if
an
you
old
know
man.
them, or you know
And
them,
it's a
you're
little
like,
old man, and you're like,
like,
"Wow,
oh,
I feel
fuck,
like an
terrible.
asshole."
Yes,
Because he's 100.
because you know them, and they have a face.
There you go.
Wow, this was a big learning.
We all have
podcast.
faces. That's what we're going to take from this.
Some bigger than others.
Yeah, well, you know.
Look, I like that Carrie does her lipstick while we're talking.
Like
Carrie
It
Carrie
makes
15.
makes her face look smaller.
15 times I did it.
That's fair.
What's your shitty gigs? You got any shitty gig stories?
What have I done? I
Horrible?
did it. I mean, bad. I did a lunch once at the end of a
lunch?
week. At the end of a week of a conference, they had me scheduled to do the lunch that they had immediately before everybody was going home to see their families
So
again.
they couldn't wait to
what
leave.
was this for?
So they were not only were they getting up and going and refilling their plates, they wanted out of there so bad. And the guy introduced me as the speaker.
Oh
And,
no!
and he just hands me the thing. I don't even know where I'm supposed to stand, so I spent the first minute
There's no
trying
stage.
trying to figure out where in the room I should stand for optimal sight lines.
Oh my
It was such a
God.
weird thing. Yeah.
And did you bomb?
I didn't do great, but when I knew it was a lunch gig, I was already prepared. I was like, well, this is not
It's
going to
gonna
be good
suck. You
for
can't-
comedy. And then when I found out all the other variables, plus the guy who introduced me did it like he did it, and plus the room was like it was. And,
Yeah, yeah.
and it
Like,
was a,
here, go.
And it was a serve-yourself buffet that people were constantly getting. I was like, yeah, this went about as well as I could have
Painful.
expected it to go.
You got the check, right?
I got the check.
That's it.
So it went well.
Who
It paid
gives a
for a
shit?
vacation to Montana.
You know what the worst is when you're doing a gig, an afternoon gig, and they're like, "Do your act the way you do it." I'm like, "You sure you don't want me to, tone it down a little?"
They
You
don't know your nights.
You
on
sure
that.
you don't want me to tone it? No, do you? We don't care. Curse, do whatever you want. And then you get up there, and you're like, all right, and you start your act, and then all of a sudden you see the person who's telling you this go like this.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah.
They don't mean it.
Nah.
They don't mean it.
You have to
Most
follow your
people-
own instinct.
Most people who are putting on comedy shows don't know comedy. Unless it's a club, unless it's a dedicated comedy
A
venue,
comedy club.
they
yeah.
have no idea how comedy
This is
works.
the best story ever.
Go ahead.
We're at this big catering hall
Mhm.
on Long Island, and Tom and Genio books this, and he books Angel Salazar, myself, and someone else to MC. And all of a sudden, I go up, I do good, okay, whatever. It's all PTA teachers
Mhm.
and principals.
Right.
So you don't want to laugh at something disgusting in front of your principal because it's your boss, sort of.
Yeah, that's
Right.
horrible. When people know each other, it always sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Angel Salazar goes up and he starts pulling off his clothes. He's
Yeah.
doing like maybe
He's got
10
his whole
minutes.
trunk.
He's
Where's
got,
his underpants? Yeah, with
Oh,
the
yeah.
and he's
elephant penis.
squeezing the
Sack.
water
Oh yeah.
out of the you know.
The elephant's nose.
No, whatever he's doing, he's So all of a sudden, I'm in the back with. I want to see how this is going to play out. So
Right.
I'm in the back with Tom and January. I go, Tom, what were you thinking? He's like, I figured he'd be good. I go, okay. All of a sudden, she comes over. She goes, what is he doing? This is the woman who hired Tom.
Salazar.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, I think I did a gig with Angel Salazar, and the opposite happened, where it was so bad for everybody because we were up there doing jokes, and it turns out what they needed was just somebody to just be crazy on stage
And
because
he
And have
kills.
him go
like
up at the
during
end.
during my set, a 3-year-old kid gets up and just walks around me on stage.
There was
and I'm
a
like,
3-year-old kid there,
yeah,
and he's
yeah,
going to watch
they had
Angel.
family. They had family
What
there.
gig was this?
It was
Where
crazy. It was
is
in
this?
Staten Island somewhere.
Staten
I
Oh,
forget.
God, of course.
Yeah,
Staten Island.
it was
yes.
insane. I was like, this kid is just. I didn't even know what to do.
Who wouldn't stop a 3-year-old from getting on
That's
the?
crazy. Why
I
a
wouldn't
3-year-old
stop
would
a
even be
3-year-old.
there?
Yeah.
But so anyway, so all of a sudden he's like, Carrie, do something. Go. She goes, go back out there. I go, I'm not going back out there. I'm done. I'm not the MC. The MC already left.
No.
So all of a sudden they go over. She goes over to the DJ. She goes, cut his mic. So they cut his mic, and all of a sudden he goes, hey, Mr. DJ's not working. I don't need it. All of a
Oh
sudden
yeah, that's right. He does it without the
he
mic.
thought that the sound system went out.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's like, I don't need the mic. I
Yeah.
can do that. And then he's going up to, like, a principal, and he's doing the lap dance, and he's rubbing on him. And then they go, Carrie, go get him. So I walk over to him. I go, Angel, come here. He goes, what happened?
Get the fuck
I go,
off.
Angel, you got to get off. Oh, all right. Okay, everybody, thank you. And he grabs all his stuff, and he walks off. He goes, I don't know. I didn't know what happened.
Did he get paid? I always want to know if you get paid. That's
He got paid.
that's the most important
Well,
thing
so
to
then
me.
Tom and Jenya was crying, and he was like, she saw him. I sent her a clip. He probably sent her a 2-minute clip
Yeah.
of him doing something cute.
Without underpants, without the
Where just
elephant
Tina
underpants.
Turner with the lip gloss and the you know,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
love
yeah.
got to do with it?
Oh yeah. I know.
Sad.
Sad. Hashtag.
Classic Salazar.
So you never had a terrible gig.
No,
you never had
you
it
know
with
what?
their throwing things or their
No,
any of
no one
that
ever
shit.
tackled you on stage?
No one tackled you, threw a drink at you.
No. I have been at gigs where people got picked up on stage, but it was never me. It
What
was
do you mean picked up?
like I did a gig in Long Island at a firehouse, and the
Who got
comic
hit?
who went before me.
Who?
I'm trying to remember who it was. It was somebody who was sort of just a straight-laced guy. You know, he just didn't look like he belonged in a Long Island firehouse. That's the good thing about me is I look like I belong a lot of places
Yeah, that's true.
that would go bad. A lot of the places that would go bad, they're like, he's
He
one
looks
of
like
us.
one of us.
He's
He's
one
got
of
that
us.
mustache.
You
And
know?
he's wearing a.
Yeah.
So wait a
So
minute.
what happened?
They took him off.
No, he just what happened was he was interacting with this guy, and this guy got a little rowdy, and he came up there and he picked the guy up, and the guy just felt all, you know, I mean, he got scared.
He picked him up on stage.
Yeah, it was just a weird moment. It wasn't dangerous, but it was too much. But the guy, I don't know.
Well,
if
here's what happened.
I don't know if the guy realized it also, but he went and sat back down. It wasn't like it
Yeah, the
completely
comedian shit
derailed.
himself. But here's the thing.
Yeah, the comedian was a
minute-
shattered human. after
The minute you engage with the crowd and you get back and forth banter, I ignore
Yeah.
them. They could be yelling at me, screaming at me. I'm ignoring you, and you're going to keep talking. I'm not even going to.
Wait, you don't say anything back to them?
No, I don't. No, because
You
if
just-
I
you just
do,
gotta
it's
stay
going to
in
get
control.
ugly.
The difficulty is you got to know how you can stay in control, and I know that I can dip into it, but I got to come right back out of it. I can't.
Like, don't get in a fight.
When I'm
don't
doing
get angry.
when I'm doing certain rooms, I can't go back and forth as if I'm
No,
having a
because
dialogue.
that'll be a fight.
Yeah, you got to stay in control of whatever it is.
So you just talk over them.
The other
talking.
night, I had a woman, blah, 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 blah. Every time I did a joke, she was like, my husband is a fucking... So I ignored her completely until she was like, well, I guess I'm not going to get any attention from this bitch.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is.
And she shut the fuck up. But the next comic, who was next? Kevin Brennan was next. And he's like, she's screaming at him, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She goes, Artie Lang. She kept screaming Artie Lang. And he's like, well, I'm sorry if he's not here. He's a heroin addict, and he's in jail.
Oh yeah, he was taking over for Artie Lang on that show.
And then he's like, well, I'm sorry, fuck you, that I'm not a heroin addict. But it was just so fucking funny. Kevin Brennan was so funny. But it was relentless. It would not stop. He's like, oh, my God. He's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So
I know
funny.
it's almost
But
like-
I ignore them.
Yeah, I go back and forth with what I should do. I did have someone at the at the brokerage. She just kept talking, but she wasn't mad. She just wanted, like she keeps standing up and hey, and like you're doing a show, and she's like in the
I
front.
need attention.
And she's like, it's they always have like boobs, and they're like, and talking, and everyone like you can't stand her. But, like, I would make little, quick, snide comments. But if you start, like, going back and forth, that's what she fucking wants.
And then you get into a fist fight.
Well, you would.
Do you remember? There was one night here at the comic strip, and what's his name? The comedian, the Asian comic Steve Burns.
Steve Burns.
Is up
he
on
got
stage.
in a fight.
Whoa. A fight? He had his face, his back of his head split open.
Wait, what are you talking
So he's
about?
on stage and he's talking with this girl back and forth, right? And he's like, just shut the fuck up or whatever. And all of a sudden he goes, you're just a fucking cunt. And the crowd starts laughing and ha, 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 ha. And he turns around and he's like talking. And the boyfriend picked up the
Oh, my
chair
God.
and smashed it over his head.
Really?
And he went down. And we were like, what? It was pretty fucking bad. Then they tackled everybody, right? His head was gushing blood.
You're kidding me. I didn't know this.
No, he had gotten stitches or whatever. But
I'll tell you what boyfriends don't
never
like.
turn your back.
And
Never turn your back on if you're having a verbal thing with someone.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I had someone
Yeah.
come after me at Shooting Stars.
Shooting stars.
He's-
That was one of the.
It was all the Bronx crowd.
Oh my God.
You would hear you'd be up there trying to do your acting. And you'd be, bitch, I'll pop a cap in your ass. Not me, but they're fighting amongst each other. And I'm like, listen, nobody's popping a cap in anybody's ass because he's going to miss his ass and hit me. But anyway, I'm at Shooting Stars, and
it was the most Yonkers kind of a club that you've ever
yeah,
fucking
like
been in.
fighting
Okay.
constantly. So some guy gets up and he starts screaming at me. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Sit the fuck down. At that time, I didn't care. And he comes to come at me, and I picked up the mic stand because I'm like, I'm going to smack his face
She's Greek.
with the mic stand because he's not going to
knows.
get coming after
Are
me.
they
She's
violent
worked in
people?
bars, so she knows how to handle herself.
Well, what are you going to do? You're going to let him come at me and choke me to death? He's calling me a cunt.
Are you asking if I would let him come at you?
No. No, but he's calling me a cunt, and I'm going, is that any way to speak about your mother? Now, I've got the mic. So now he's
good.
like,
Yeah, you
yo,
went at his
fucking
mother.
gonna kill you.
Because clearly somebody who is in that mindset probably has a good relationship with his mother and won't take that personally at all. You knew
Exactly.
exactly what you were doing.
So now he comes at me, and he goes to step his foot on stage. So I'm like, Tony, I'm yelling,
Yeah.
Tony, Eddie, somebody stay,
That owners.
fucking fight.
I know.
So
Why are
I-
they leaving a girl out there to do it herself?
I get the mic stand. I have it up like this. You know that big round rim?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The base?
You gonna hit
Yeah.
him with that?
I'm
Bash
ready
him
to.
in the head?
I'm
Yeah.
ready to bash his skull in. He comes. Guy sitting in the front row with his girlfriend goes like this, grabs him by the back of the shirt and
Yeah.
wails him down. One hand.
Yeah.
Big guy. I go, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, everybody comes in and pulls him out, and he's like, I'm like, come back and fight like a man. Put him up. Put him up. And I'm being an asshole.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
crowd's loving it, cheering. Yeah, he's gone, whatever. And then I'm like, fuck, this guy could be waiting for me
That's
outside.
exactly what they
Well,
do.
here's the one thing you got going for you in a comedy club is being a woman. Is that you will have guys defend you. Honestly, I think less guys would defend a guy.
I will tell you though, because back in the day, they would leave me to defend a lot
Would
of
they?
guys, a
Yeah.
lot of comics did. And as a
Yeah,
matter
no, I
of fact,
mean, I think more so now. Definitely.
maybe now.
Like now
Back
it's-
then, they're like, "Oh, you want to be a comic?
Yeah.
You
You
want to
gotta
be
fight.
the girl on the
You gotta
show?
fight."
Good fucking luck." But I did have that happen where
Yeah.
they came after the show. He was waiting for me in the parking lot. I told you this up at where was it? Somewhere in I can't fucking remember the name of it. But anyway, he waited for me, and I drove with the other comics, and he was saying shit, and the guy comic I was with goes, "Don't acknowledge him, don't talk." He's saying shit to me as I'm walking in the car. It's all, cunt, bitch, fuck you, because I'd humiliated him on stage. I made him go on stage and tell a joke, and then I went in the back, and I'm like, "What, you show us your tits, you fucking, and I'm doing everything he was saying, but I had the mic, and he's like, oh, so anyway, everyone's like, boo, sit down. So he was like embarrassed because he thought, oh, I have the girl, I'm going to fuck with her. So, but he got in the car with me and the other guys, and he was making the car slam up into the car. And it wasn't even my car. I was driving with another comic. And they're like, the guy's going, what the fuck's going on? He's pushing us off the road like we're going sideways down the ditch. And, finally he drove off. But, like, I'm in the car thinking, this guy's going to fucking kill us. You know what I mean? But that's comedy back in the 90s.
The good old days.
Yeah, exactly. But we have to, Adam's giving us the hook. We got to go. Adam's got to go.
Well, it was great.
We loved having you. Thank you
Thanks
so
for having
much.
me. Yeah,
You're
good
a
being
doll.
here.
Okay.
Don't you have
Enjoyed
to
it.
say something?
Yeah,
Say something.
You want to read patrons, right?
Oh, fuck yeah. I got to do my Patreon.
But we
Okay.
do want to ask you where you're going to be this weekend performing.
I'm at Fort Worth, Hyenas in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, that sounds like
Hyenas.
fun.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious
yeah.
that it's called Hyenas.
It's a great club. It's a
Is
lot
it?
of fun.
Is it
It
good?
really is. It's a lot of fun.
I'd
Yeah.
love to do that club,
It's a good
but I don't like
time.
to fly. Anyway, so so where can we find you on your website?
Jason-Salmon.com. Salmon is spelled like salmon, Salmon. Jason-Salmon.com.
That's why you're delicious.
Yes.
And Twitter and anything else?
Twitter and Instagram are both J Salmon Comedy. And
You're very funny
thank you very much.
in the flesh and on stage.
Yes.
And good luck with your girl.
Oh, I don't need luck. We're pretty cool.
I mean, get married
Oh,
and ruin everything.
that's not luck.
Carrie made me get married, and you know what? I
Carrie
finally
gets
did.
everybody
married. Yeah.
She forced me to get married. I was with him 16 years engaged, a year before that knowing him. And every day on this podcast, relentless for 2 fucking years. She goes,
So I made them get married.
and we got married because of her.
Part of the reason we're not married is because people keep telling me to get married, and I'm like, I don't like doing what people tell me to do.
Oh.
I told my mom that.
So the more
She
does it,
said, why don't you get married? I said, I got to be honest with you, and it's irrational, but here's one of the reasons is because people keep suggesting it.
Let me
And
ask you
I don't
another
like
question.
people telling me
though.
what to do.
yeah,
What do
that's
you-
what comics are like.
Do you guys
Yeah.
own anything together?
We have like a joint bank account.
No, I mean like a
No,
house. Do you
no.
have an apartment you own or anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay, when you
We
get
just
that,
rent.
you might want to just
Yeah,
'cause then,
when
Yeah.
somebody gets that, you gotta have to leave it to somebody.
because then you get married because then you don't want to have her paying tax. Like if you get rich and
yeah,
famous,
absolutely.
like that. Okay.
All right. Anyway,
where are you going to be, Carrie?
I can't remember.
Where's your book, Carrie?
It's not here.
Okay,
But I'm gonna be somewhere this weekend, both nights. Thursday I'll be at Governor's, and Sunday night I'll probably. Oh no, Sunday night's my son's birthday, so I'm not working.
Whoa.
Happy birthday, my
happy
little
birthday.
boy!
Okay, can I thank the? I want to thank the
Patreons.
Yeah, the Patreons. Here we
Oh,
go.
and by the way, if you want to give us any money, $1 a month, whatever, we bring you 4 fantastic shows. Look, Jason's here today.
Look at me.
You would have never gotten that.
Never.
So anything you can give us, $5.
Where do they
$2.
go, Carrie?
They go to patreon.com/2tiredtwats. Very simple. Patreon.com /2tiredtwats.
We want to thank Adam Hineker also. He does all our sound and producing, and if you need him, he's. What are you on?
I'm in this corner.
He's at the comic strip.
Always, yeah.
He is
Comic
always
strip
there. Yeah.
live, 82nd and 2nd. Great
I'm here.
shows every.
He's the best.
Night.
You can't work with a nicer fucking guy than
Okay, go with the
fucking
Patreon.
him. Here we go,
So
Patreon.
true.
And also thank you, the comic strip, for letting us work here. Anyway, great club. Donovan Burl. Thank you. I hope I'm not saying it wrong. Sarah Klassen, our favorite lesbian. My Worst Holiday, who we did the show today.
Thank you.
The boys,
It's about time.
Jay and Mark.
Been asking for a drink
Thank
for a
you.
long time.
So listen to them. My Best Holiday. They've got some great podcasts.
Think about this with your money, folks. It's like buying us a drink once a month.
That's actually very good, Carrie. I like that. Very good. Antoinette Schiavo. Jason Abram. Oh, Jason's always on Twitter. Nancy Cunningham. Thank you. Ken Mosca, of course.
Ken!
Richard Peterson. Chris Donovan. We got the other Donovan. Nicholas Guerrero. Ralph Corasillo. Ribs Mochengo. Did we have him before?
Ribs Mochengo.
I think we would have remembered that name before.
No,
I think
new.
I've had that at a barbecue place before.
Isn't that from Texas?
The Ribs Mochengo. That's,
Mochengo.
yeah, that's a Colombian
Texas
barbecue dish.
Yes. Thank you, Ribs.
I'll have
David
the ribs mochengo, por favor.
David Hines, Raul Coronado, Jordan Campbell, Stephanie Marshall, thank you, Stephen Ball, Carrie, you might like that. No Name Dennis,
One ball, not two.
Artie Klein from Twitter, we know him. Same thing with, I don't know if it's Gilberto or Gilberto Bravo. Gilberto Bravo from Twitter.
Gilberto Bravo.
Dave Chaffee Hippie.
Chivy.
He's the man who does our music, so if you like music, contact
He's
him.
Australian.
He's Australian. He's down under, if you know what we're saying. Brenda Petrakian. Is that Russian? And Jeffrey Lustig. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for the money. We need it.
We're
saving up to
broke-ass
get
bitches.
T-shirts.
That is coming. We just went to the bank today. We're moving our money, and we're gonna get fucking T-shirts, and they're gonna say 2 tired twats, and we're not even gonna have an asterisk.
And we're gonna sign them.
And it's gonna be full on twats without the asterisk. So you gotta have balls to buy our T-shirts,
And wear them.
and they're coming in. I don't know how long you think it'll take us.
I don't know if when I get the money.
They went to the bank, people.
We went to the bank.
We did.
I've just never heard anybody announce that
it was-
before.
Anyway, leave us, like us on Facebook, Two
Yes.
Tired Swats, please, so we can notify you every time we do a show. All right, everybody, thanks for listening. Hope you have a great
what?
What else,
weekend.
Carrie?
Hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, Jason Salmon.
There we go. Slow.
Yeah, thank
slow.
you.
A little,
Thank you
a
for
little
doing this.
remedial.
You're
but
the best.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, Jason.
That was
For having me.
fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was
Good
fun.
time.
We thought you were going to